Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the York High School Navy Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Langley Speedway Chaplain Reverend Tom Potter delivers tonight's invocation.
All right, let's all stand if you're not already standing. And race fans always show great respect to the country. Take your hats off, all that. You are some of the greatest patriotic people around. God bless all of you. Now, dear Lord, I want to thank you once again for this nice night. I know we can't thank you too much, but we do want to thank you especially for that. And also, Lord, I just want to thank you for the wonderful privilege of living in the United States of America. I know we got our issues and all that, but when it comes right down to it, we love our country. And I thank you, Lord, for all of our servicemen, women around the world that's making sure that our freedom is protected. I pray you'll watch over them and protect them. I just pray, Lord, and the races tonight will have good races. I just pray for all of those that's involved in any way they are, other than just the drivers, that you'll take care of them as they take care of us, the first responders here. But right now, for these drivers, for these crew, all their hard work, the money, at time they put in, Lord, thank you for it all. God bless these races tonight, and God bless America. In Jesus' name I do pray, and I do thank you. Amen.
And now here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Joshua Pearsall.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's hear it for Joshua Pearsall for his performance of our national anthem. Well, Brian, our pre-race ceremonies are just about done here. Drivers are going to be getting in their cars right now, getting buckled in, getting ready to go for 200 laps. And in just a few moments, we will start this race and give the command for the 13th annual Hampton Heat.
And Von Crittenden, thank you so much. We are ready for the Hampton Heat 200 at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. The time has come. The national anthem has been performed. The next thing we're going to do is fire up these race engines here this evening at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Thank you so much for tuning in to NBC Sports Gold Track Pass. Hello once again to all of our great race fans, and what a great crowd that we have here tonight at the Speedway. Drivers now beginning to get into their race cars here in just a few moments. And of course, the big task at hand now is to fire these cars up and get ready to go racing here this evening. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Larry King Law's Langley Speedway here in Hampton, Virginia. So good to have with us Brandon Brown. Brandon, NASCAR Xfinity Series driver. You're doing something a little bit different here tonight. You're not in the race car. You're up here in the tower.
I know. Now it's a little different. I get to talk on the mic, and it's not to social media or to, I actually have real people listening. So I guess I got to really make sure that I nail what I say today, huh?
Well, we want to thank you for coming up and joining us. You've got your race car, your NASCAR Xfinity Series car here. Did some autograph session, had a chance to catch up with some race fans. So everybody else has a 2-week break. You don't have one.
Yeah, I don't know what a break is. No, I'm just super excited to be out here. It's always a fun race to come watch. Getting to be a race fan again, especially at a hometown level, it's super awesome. I got to hang out with everybody over at Larry's Lemonade and show off the Xfinity car that's going to be seen at Daytona. So just having fun tonight.
Hey, that's what it's all about. And we talked about this racetrack and your memories because you've competed here. You've raced in the Hampton Heat. And you talked to me about your thoughts of this racetrack. And tell the viewers at home and those here at the racetrack what sticks out in your memory.
Yeah, no, I mean, in my memory, I've had races here that are really good, and I've also had races here where I've loaded up some really torn-up race cars, and it's a really awkward car ride home with Dad. When you're coming home, those cones ripped off the car, and you try to duct tape it back on, and it's not good. But no, just such a fun atmosphere. It's so great to see all the families out here, see all the teams getting ready to go. Just so many great memories. Such a fun track. Very unforgiving if you slide because there's no banking like I'm used to. So, no, I'm just happy to be here, though.
We are happy to have you and looking forward to the call here tonight here in Hampton, Virginia. And, Brandon, I think, one thing that a lot of drivers, that think about when you're getting ready to get strapped in the race car, are you a little more nervous now, or now that you're in your office, you kind of feel a little bit better? Like, take us through your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so for me, it's always been, you have a little bit of nerves as you're getting ready to strap into the car, and when you're buckling down, you're double checking everything, making sure, my Hans is on, all my belts are on, everything's fitting right. Now you're running through the motions in your head. You want to make sure that you've run this race in your head 3 times before you even take the green flag. So now it's just the time that the drivers are getting ready to go to work. So they're all probably getting focused in and getting those last-second nerves out right before you fire up the car.
And I got to ask this question, too, because you perform at the NASCAR Xfinity Series level and have done extremely well this year. I know you've got to be super proud with the results, the top 5s, the top 10s that have come this year. Up 13th in the championship standings and doing good things. But talk to us about the pressure these drivers may have tonight, because I know there's a lot of eyeballs watching this big late model race.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think that when there's not this many eyeballs constantly that you're getting used to, that it adds that little bit of pressure of I really want to perform, because not only is my family here, my family's here, my friends are here, their friends are here, their family's here. So everybody's tuning in on NBC Track Pass. So it's just a big event, and it's one that carries, that you can say if you've won the Hampton Heat, that's a big trophy up on the wall. That's something you'd be proud of. So you're definitely feeling a little bit of pressure tonight.
Absolutely. We know that is the case for these drivers as they begin to strap in their car. We are just moments away from firing up the engines. We have a total of 29 race cars here. 6 Fords will start this event, 12 Chevrolets, and 11 Toyotas will fire off. And our pole setter, Chad McCumbee, get this, Chad McCumbee's not competed, Brandon, in a Hampton Heat 200. He comes out and wins the pole. I mean, I guess it happens sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you know your way around Langley, then you know your way around Langley, or your team's really got this car hooked up. So you're either going, whoo, thank God they brought me this car because this is going to be a fun one, or maybe it's, yeah, I know my way around this place. And, hey, it's always a lot easier to avoid the accidents if you're starting in the front and you're away from them.
It absolutely is. And track facts, this is a 0.4 of a mile oval, banking in the turn 6 degrees, straightaways 2 degrees. And Brandon, something we also talked about is you're constantly in that turn mode. You never really get a moment to go straight. A lot of times you get a little bit of a couple seconds to go, whew, I'm going straight before you get back in that turn. Not the case here at this racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, the few times that I was able to race here, it felt like I was just constantly into the wheel. I was like, man, either I'm doing something really wrong or this racetrack just takes a lot out of you. So a lot of laps tonight. These guys got to keep 4 corners on the car. You're always in the turn. So I'm sure it's the Hampton Heat. So I'm sure the tempers are going to get heated. So it's going to be a really, really fun, exciting race to watch.
We cannot wait to watch it. It is tagged as America's hottest race Unfortunately for the drivers and fans that are here tonight, it is not super hot like we normally see in late July. Temperatures much more comfortable. Humidity much lower here tonight, so it feels more like a spring night at the racetrack. But great weather conditions, but I couldn't agree more. America's hottest race will deliver because everybody wants to win. There's only going to be one guy down there in Dale Emmons Victory Lane by the end of the night.
Oh, and you definitely want to be that guy. And I'll tell you, when you do get this weather and it's nice and cool as a driver, you're like, whoo, thank God. Because the inside of that race car gets hot. So, I mean, I commend everybody that runs this race every year because I know how hot it can get.
I agree. Let's get ready to go trackside to Dale Emmons Victory Lane with Vaughn Crittenden.
Just 1, 2. All right. Had to get the mic working right. And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your grand marshals for tonight's Hampton Heat. The city manager, Mary Bunting, and city councilwoman Eleanor Brown and Billy Hobbs to deliver the most famous words in motorsports.
Start your
That is the greatest sound as a race fan you'll ever hear. 29 engines come to life in Hampton, Virginia at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway for one of the biggest late model races of the year. We are so excited to have you tuned in to NBC Sports Gold Track Pass in Eastern Virginia. This is the big one with a full house here tonight. The fans have been coming in for hours here today. The trailers started arriving on Thursday. Practice began yesterday. Practice continued today. There's been lots of wrenches turned. There's been lots of heads shaking and lots of just sweat, tears, and blood poured into getting these race cars ready for America's hottest race, the 200-lap late model event. Let's run you through the stages here tonight. It'll be a 200-lap event. A caution, planned caution, will happen at or around lap 100. Drivers will have the opportunity to come into the pits. They will not lose positions when they do pit at that time. They'll have 15 minutes to make adjustments and then come back out on the racetrack after those 15 minutes. They'll continue to race another 50 laps before another controlled caution will come out, and then drivers can elect to come into the pits or stay out on the racetrack, and they will have the option to change 2 tires tonight, Brandon. That is it, 2 tires here this evening. And let's talk about that. Vaughn Crittenden, the general manager and promoter, is with us down on pit lane.
That's right. I'll be down here for all 200 laps, talking with the teams, crews, drivers, and calling the action in the turns for you this evening. Brian, I can't tell you how excited I am for this. I've had this one circled on the calendar basically until I decided what date it was going to be. This is an absolute fantastic crowd, man. I am just blown away, and I can just personally say that, you know, the work as hard as we have to do here at Langley to put the events on, it is just fantastic to see how packed this grandstand is tonight. But boy, man, I am ready to see this green flag fly.
We are right there with you. Vaughn Crittenden has been talking to me, Brandon, about this race for months. I mean, he really has been working extremely hard to get this race ready. Him, Bill Mullis, the track owner, Chuck Hall, just have worked extremely hard to make things happen here tonight. Brendan Queen won last year's edition, holding off Brandon Pierce to claim his first Hampton Heat 200 victory. Can Brendan get it done 2 years in a row? He'll roll off in position number 7 in car number 03. There are 6 former winners in tonight's field. They include Nick Smith, Woody Howard, Peyton Sellers, Bobby McCarty, Connor Hall, and of course, last year's winner, Brendan Queen. C.E. Fogg, who is not racing tonight, has the most wins in the Hampton Heat with 3 victories back in 2010, 11, and 14. You don't have to necessarily start inside the top 5 to win this event. Last year's winner, Brendan Queen, started 11th. 2019 winner Connor Hall started back in 10th place, although the average starting position for the winner is 5th. And guess who starts in 5th spot here tonight? It is none of the other than Bobby McCarty, and he's certainly one of those late model racers that you want to keep your eyes on here this evening. Looking at this great race here, the number 4 entry of Caden Honeycutt is ready to go. He actually won last month's Visit Hampton, Virginia 125 Cars Tour event. Justin Johnson in the 44 finished up in 2nd position. So we're keeping our eyes on Caden Honeycutt to see what he has in store here this evening. 3 drivers in tonight's field have started all 13 Hampton Heat 200 races, and they include Danny Edwards, Greg Edwards, and Terry Carroll. So they're gunning for another run here this evening. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's Hampton Heat 200, presented by the City of Hampton. Rolling off in position number 29, that's where we'll find the 36 of Ryan Huff. Starting in 28th position, from Norfolk, Virginia, Craig Estep at car number 25. Rolling off in 27th is the 77 entry of Blake Stallings, while Casey Wyatt in the 29 starts 26th. Rolling off inside the 13th row is the 5 of Carter Langley. Colin Garrett in the 24G rolls off 24th, while Rick Godovic from Yorktown, Virginia starts in position 23 at car 64. Chris Johnson in the 36J starts in 22nd. Terry Carroll, the 91C, rolls off 21st. Now your top 20 starters here tonight, it's Peyton Sellers in the 26S starting 20th. Grayson Cullither starts 19th in the 22C. Quick Nick Smith in the 12 starts 18th, while Mark Wirtz at car 55 rolls off inside the 9th row. Brandon Pierce in the 2P will start in position 16. Thomas Scott in the 8S rolls off in 15th. Starting outside the 7th row is Woody Howard. Woody Howard has got it done in this race. He's looking to pick up Hampton Heat win 200, his second one tonight. Starting 13th is the 6-time champion here at this racetrack, the 21 of Greg Edwards. Starting in 12th is Timothy Peters in the 12P. He's a NASCAR standout. Matt Waltz makes his return to Hampton, Virginia, and car number 2, he'll roll off inside the 6th row. Your top 10 starters now, another 6-time Larry King Law's Langley Speedway track champion, Danny Edwards in car number 26. To his left elbow is Caden Honeycutt in the 4H in car number 9. Starting outside, row 4 is Justin S. Carroll in the 91 entry, and to his left elbow is Brendan Queen, last year's winner in the 03. Starting in 6th is Justin Johnson in the 44 entry, while Bobby McCarty rolls off in 5th in the 22M. Now starting in 4th is Connor Hall, the 2019 winner in car 77. Josh Berry will roll off in car number 8, his first Hampton Heat. He starts in 3rd. And now the front row on the outside pole is Jared Fryer in the 14, while Chad McCumbee in his first Hampton Heat rolls off in the pole position with a time of 15.754 seconds. And that is the starting lineup for tonight's Hampton Heat 200. And as we get set, Brandon, just a few more laps before we turn this field loose. What's going through these drivers' minds right now, or these drivers' minds right now?
Oh, get heat in the tires. That's what you want. You want that thing to stick going into turn 1 because you know that everybody is right on top of you and everybody's going to try and get everything that they can on lap 1. I don't know why, but it just seems to happen that sometimes racers tend to think that lap 1 pays, but unfortunately it doesn't. So I'm just kidding. There's a lot of talent in the field. I think that everybody's going to stay pretty smart, but you're just thinking, get some heat in these tires, but also conserve. We have 200 laps. I only get to change 2 of my tires. I need to do everything I can to help my crew help me win tonight.
And so from your strategy standpoint, do you go at it right at the get-go, go ahead and pass as many cars as possible, or do you lay a little bit low there at the start and kind of get your sea legs under you?
If I'm our pole sitter, Chad McCumbee, I'm nice and easy. I'm taking care of my equipment. I'm keeping all 4 corners on it. I'm not spinning the tires. I just want to keep everything going. But if I'm starting towards the rear of the field outside of the top 10, then I'm definitely like, okay, guys, we need to move forward. We need to get into the hunt so that we can be around because it's not a huge track. There's going to be cars that are going a lap down, and you do not want to be one of them because it's going to be hard to come back from.
Brandon Brown, NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, up in the tower with me. Vaughn Crittenden, the general manager and promoters along pit road. Vaughn, what's the energy and excitement level like down there on pit road?
It is definitely tense. You know, all these... Oh, got you real quick here. Mike's a little touchy tonight. I mean, it is tense down here. These teams have been working here the past 2 days trying to put this together, and all the effort right now is for here right now. We got less than 2 laps till the green flag, so you see a lot of pacing. So we'll get this one to go green in just a second.
That's right, just a few more moments away from dropping that green flag to kick off the Hampton Heat 200. And we are almost there this evening. The sun has set. The lights are fully illuminated here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. We had some earlier races this afternoon. Brandon, did you have a chance to check out some of those races while you were signing autographs? They put on a pretty good show earlier.
Oh, yeah. No, it was definitely a lot of fun to watch. I mean, these guys, earlier were beating and banging, and as one of these drivers, I'm looking out at the track like, okay, who's spilling stuff where, because I got to make sure I don't hit the slick spot. But no, to what Vaughn said, you know, now's the time when I know that my dad was pacing back and forth when I was running late models, so it's okay for them to be nervous, but drivers, you better have your helmet on straight, visor down, elbows up, baby. We're getting ready to go green.
That's right. It is showtime for sure. Hello all across the great land on NBC Sports Gold Track Pass. We're ready for NASCAR's hottest race. It is time for the Hampton Heat 200. Chad McCumbee, who starred in the movie 3, starring as Dale Earnhardt Jr. by ESPN. This rolls off inside of row 1. Jared Fryer to his right elbow. Josh Berry, NASCAR standout on row 2 with Connor Hall starting in 4th. 200 laps make up the distance. We've got an exciting Hampton Heat 200. And for the start, here's Vaughn Crittenden.
Pace truck pulls down pit road. Green flag is in the air. We're on our way in the 13th annual Hampton Heat as Chad McCumbee, the 16, takes the lead and hits his way into turns 1 and 2.
29 late model superstars race off into turns 1 and 2. The lead at the moment is Chad McCumbee. Beside him is Jared Fryer. Now McCumbee will clear and lead lap number 1. Josh Berry briefly looks to the bottom of Jared Fryer as they race back to turns 1 and 2. The top 3 are single file. We're side by side from there on back.
Side by side further back in the field. The battle is for the 4th spot as Bobby McCarty looks to the inside to 77 of Connor Hall. And that'll be the battle for the 4th position as they head their way down the front straightaway. Right behind him, your defending Hampton Heat winner, Brendan Queen, is side by side also with the 44. The 44 of Justin Johnson as they make their way into turn 3.
Remember how I told you at the beginning of the race, we want to keep 4 corners on the car. We want to keep the tires nice and cool. Well, these guys are not giving an inch. Everybody wants to go forward, man. We're 2 by 2. We're beating and banging. This is the racing that we love to see. This is why everybody tunes into NBC Track Pass. Look at it. Everybody's making a move. We got to fight for the lead. We got to fight for 10th. We got to fight for 20th. Everybody's fighting.
Absolutely side by side. Good Saturday night short track and joined with Brandon Brown up here in the tower. NASCAR Xfinity Series driver. He's competed here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. He's watching from up top as we're seeing Chad McCumbee, Jared Fryer, and how about it, Josh Berry right now is up to 3rd spot. But Bobby McCarty right behind him rides in 4th, and Connor Hall, the 2019 winner, is 5th. We're single file at the moment, Vaughn. Everybody's trying to bide their time as we're still early in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very long race for a late model stock car, and these guys are definitely trying to find their rhythm right now, get single file, start to try to do the saving tires game. You do have those 2 tires you can put on later, but you still got to have 2 tires to keep for this entire event. So, you know, there's a lot of give and take at the moment, but right now, man, Jared Fryer is just putting a whole bunch of pressure on that 16 of Chad McCumbee.
Actually seeing a little contact between the 14 of Jared Fryer and the 16 of Chad McCumbee. And what's your thoughts on that battle for the top spot? Do you kind of move over, or no, you dig in if you're the leader? You're not going to give an inch.
No, you don't give up the lead. We're out here racing, man. We want to win this thing, so we want to stay out front, stay at the nose. But no, I mean, as you can see, these guys are nose to tail. They are on top of each other. As soon as somebody makes a mistake, that's when you pounce. I mean, if you can get in their mirror and maybe force them to make a mistake, that's even better. But you're definitely focused in on, hey, I got to do what I got to do to keep my position.
Speaking of mistakes right now, Brandon, the 24 of Colin Garrett has pulled onto pit road. He obviously got into the rear bumper of somebody out on the track. A lot of front end damage with the bumper pushed up on that car. They come down pit road, check it out, and then he pulls on as the 91 of Justin Carroll comes to a stop right off of turn 4.
Caution flag is on the speedway for the first time tonight. It happens as Justin Carroll has problems. He was right up near the front of the field, had some problems. That car went way up the racetrack over in turns 3 and 4, and that puts us under our first yellow flag of the night.
Yeah, no, this is not a place where you want the car to shove you up the track because, like I said earlier, there is not a lot of banking to save you if you start sliding up. So hopefully they can get the 91 machine figured out because you hate to fall back so early in the race, and now he's got a full field ahead of him if he does get back out there.
Justin Carroll started the event in 8th spot. Something went awry, and we are being told he will get a 1-lap penalty for causing the yellow flag. The race control is deeming that intentional, and he will get a 1-lap penalty. So, Brandon, that's a pretty steep thing when you're already out of the gate, started the race in 8th. You have some problems, you stop on the racetrack, and now you're going to be penalized a lap.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a tough one to come back from. So I'll be really surprised if he does, but this was definitely something that the 24 car wanted to see so that they could come back down pit road, take another look at that front end, and make sure that we're going to be all good to complete this thing, because you got to keep the radiator on this thing. It's a long race, really hard on equipment, so you want to make sure that you're not destroying anything.
Vaughn, what are you seeing down there?
Yeah, so it looked like Justin Carroll came down pit road, was looking for an improved tire change, and I don't think he got it. And it looks like they're going to say 91 to the garage. Not sure what's going on with that car at the moment. But, yeah, he just pulled down pit road. Obviously didn't like whatever the NASCAR official told him. Kind of burned little burning rubbers, left the pit. And his team obviously visibly right now.
Tough break for that 25-year-old out of Williamsburg, Virginia. Has 2 years of ARCA racing and 4 years of K&N Pro Series racing. Has 2 top 10s here in the Hampton Heat. And unfortunately started way up front, 8th place. Had some problems. That car went up the racetrack in turns 3 and 4 a couple of laps ago. And he stopped. Race control deemed that an intentional stoppage to put out the yellow flag. Penalized him a lap, but we still have a lot of laps to go. I mean, the free pass is out there, Brandon, so there's opportunities to possibly get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw how intense these drivers were at the drop of that green flag. So instead of letting everybody stay single file as they were, we get to bunch them right back up, and we get to watch them do it again. There is zero give in these drivers, but now everybody knows, okay, I've got an idea of where the guy in front of me stacks up. You know, I know where I'm at. I know what I need to do. So this is going to be an exciting little restart that we got here.
Hey, real quick, guys, I just talked to the 91 team, and they just let me know that the right rear hub on their car broke, and that was the reason why they came down pit road. So it might be an early night for the Justin Carroll machine.
Broken hub, that is a tough one. That you just hate that. But, I mean, it just goes to show this track is not easy on your equipment, especially when you have this many laps to look forward to. So I hate that for the 91 team. Looked like they had a really strong car, but I guess now we're getting ready to go back racing. They're showing, what, 2 to go?
2 to go. Won't be much longer, and we're going to turn this field loose and go back at it here this evening. Caden Honeycutt is riding along in the 8th spot right behind Chad McCumbee, who's going to restart as the race leader. As a point of clarification, all laps do count in this 200-lap event, with the exception of our planned yellow flags at lap 100 and 150. Those laps will not count under the yellow flag. So right now, 16 laps are showing on the leaderboard. The lights have went off the pace truck again. It's Chad McCumbee, Jared Fryer on row 1, Josh Berry and Bobby McCarty will line up on row 2. Connor Hall will restart this race in 5th, with Justin Johnson 6th. Caden Honeycutt will restart in 7th. Brendan Queen is still around the 8th spot. Greg Edwards 9th, and Matt Waltz is running at 10th spot. And speaking of Matt Waltz, he's back here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. His first appearance in 4 years. This makes his 7th Hampton Heat. Pace truck's getting ready to hit pit lane. We're set for the race restart with Chad McCumbee at the head of the field in his very first Hampton Heat.
Green flag back in the air. Chad McCumbee races through the gearbox in turn 1, and he will take the lead, but he's got Jared Fryer to his outside, and Josh Berry right behind him off of 2.
Josh Berry dialing up the inside lane, tries to follow in the tire tracks of Chad McCumbee. As Jared Fryer is still up the racetrack, he's looking for that hole to get that race car pinned in underneath. He's not going to be able to do it. Jared Fryer quickly shuts the door, gets down to the inside of the racetrack, and holds that spot number 2 off of turn 2 as he races down the backstretch.
Meanwhile, Josh Berry having some trouble in that inside lane. Bobby McCarty got him on the outside for 3rd. Justin Johnson also doing the same thing as he comes off of turn 4 and will take 4th away for that 8th Gene down into turn 1.
Looks like the 8 car is doing some backpedaling here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the 8 car. I don't know if he's backing off himself, trying to find a rhythm, get in line, or just not tuned up right. Something that you don't want to do is see a bunch of cars go around you, especially on the outside, because on that restart, I'm yelling at my spotter, find me a hole, get me down now.
Preferred line on this racetrack, bottom of the racetrack. You want to get down there as quickly as possible. Here they come off of turn number 4 to put 21 laps on the leaderboard. Again, 200 laps around the racetrack. Most of the cars single file. You get a little further back before you see the side-by-side battle. Brendan Queen is caught up in that mix. Brendan is actually going backwards, Vaughn. He started the race in 7th. He's found himself in 11th now.
Yeah, obviously, you know, these guys practice these past 2 days in the daytime. Completely different situation. Really a completely different set of tires. These tires have only had their qualifying on them so far, so you might find yourself not having the best car that you thought in practice early on, but definitely interesting to see where some of these guys are at in the field right now early on in this one.
Watching Brendan Queen, he restarted in 8th position. He has fallen all the way back to 15th. So, Brandon, does that cause some concern as a race car driver if you're in the 03?
Yeah, I mean, not knowing what he's got going on inside that cockpit, it definitely looks like he's got a handful because he's got a mirror full of cars that are all over him, top, bottom, on the rear bumper, just giving them the hardest time they can because, I mean, that's what you do here at Langley at the Hampton Heats. I mean, you're got to push forward. So sometimes it's just bad positioning, can't get a line going on the track, I can't get to the top, I'm worried about burning my stuff running side by side, but you know, that's just a bad time when you're when it feels like you got the parachute out the back.
Well, one thing that's really interesting to me, there we go. One thing that's interesting to me about it is Brendan Queen is someone who, on a weekly basis out here at Langley Speedway, is somebody who is always the dominant car, has multiple wins this season, has been at top of the points the whole year. So not as uncharacteristic for him to be running this bad in this race. It's just uncharacteristic of him in general.
Absolutely, we'll keep our eyes on that. The fortunate thing is we will have a planned yellow flag at or around lap 100, so we'll be able to come in and make some adjustments to try to get him back out on the racetrack. But one thing we want to see is not get a long green flag run and you start lapping the field. You don't want to get too far behind, particularly this early in the race.
Absolutely, and right now is when you need your crew and your spotter in your ear just telling you, okay, buddy, stay calm. Let's get to lap 100. Let's stay up with the field. We'll get this thing tuned up for you. That's what you hope that they're saying, or they're probably up there saying, you know, get it figured out, man. We got to get to the front. What are you doing? This is the Hampton Heat.
That's right. Watching Grayson Cullither right now in the Hampton Heat, runs 19th. We also see ahead of him is the Chris Johnson, car number 36J, and Blake Stallings also in a mix here over in turns 1 and 2 with the car number 91 of Terry Carroll looking on in 23rd position. But back at the head of the field, it continues to be Chad McCumbee, who has led since the start of this race here at lap number 30. His advantage right now 0.6 of a second over Jared Fryer. And then you look back to Bobby McCarty. And Bobby McCarty's had a very successful 2021 in that car number 22. He's from Kernersville, North Carolina. He won the 2017 Hampton Heat 200, and he won South Boston earlier this month, Vaughn, when you were down there.
Yeah, Bobby McCarty not only racing for a second Hampton Heat win, but racing for a $7,000 bonus if he's able to get a good run tonight and another good run at Martinsville in September with the Virginia Triple Crown. So he's raced in 2 different races right now in that 3rd position.
Watching Bobby McCarty try to hold on to that spot as he begins to try to close in to Jared Fryer here near the head of the field.
Fun story. I actually used to race against Bobby McCarty back in go-karts when we were touring the Tri-State Series for BDKA, WKA, AKR, any of the kart racing series. Bobby McCarty was there and I was there, so I got to beat fenders with him in go-karts, late models, limited, I mean everything. So it's awesome to watch him find success in these cars. And yeah, $7,000. That's nothing to shake a stick at. That's something that I've got in the back of my mind, like, okay, yeah, let's perform.
That's right. So it's like the carrot out there. I got to go get that, and that's what he's doing right now. Watching some great racing a little further back in the pack. That's Mark Wirtz, longtime racer here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway in that 55 car. Mark Wirtz does a great job with social media, continuously reminds the younger drivers that we got to take care of the partners and the sponsors, and that's something, Brandon, you do a great job of as well, is taking care of your partners.
Yeah, no, partners are key. I mean, I see on Mark Wirtz's car, he's got the CorvettePart.net 55 Chevrolet, which you see them all over racing. So the Keene family is everywhere from late models to the Xfinity cars. I've seen them on the Cup cars, so it's awesome to see that. And Mark is definitely a great advocate for them, and Dunkin' Donuts in his number 55.
Josh Berry is back up to the 4th position at car number 8. Right behind him, we're seeing the 44. That's Justin Johnson, just ahead of 2019 winner Connor Hall in the 77 car. Connor from right here in Hampton, Virginia, as Connor begins to go to work on him there in turns 1 and 2. Vaughn, a good battle shaping up off of 2.
That's right, down the back straightaway. Those guys battle side by side, battling for that position. Justin Johnson slips it up a little bit. Here comes his teammate, Caden Honeycutt, will battle for the position underneath him in the 1.
Caden Honeycutt, again, this is his first Hampton Heat. He started racing bandos back in 2012 in Alabama and Texas, and has competed on dirt cars there for the last 6 years. So he's raced pretty much everything as well, and certainly has cut his teeth. Running strong here tonight, has that car up to position number 6 as one of the standouts here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, Greg Edwards, that 21 car. You know that Edwards guy, he's been around for a long, long time and always is right near the front of the field.
I've definitely seen him before, but like I said, look at our leader. We are less than half a straightaway away from lap traffic. So now what's going through your mind is, okay, I ran a really good pace. Now I need to make quick work of the lap cars because I've got the 14 hot and tail. So if I'm Chad, I'm getting ready to go right back to work on getting my elbows back up.
Chad McCumbee is getting ready to go to work, as Brandon Brown documents, because this 4/10 of a mile oval, when you have 29 race cars on it, it doesn't take long until you start catching the rear of the field, and he's getting ready to do that right now as we see the 24 car of Colin Garrett is right ahead of him. So now the pressure's going to be on Vaughn. He's going to have to start passing some cars once more.
Yeah, that's part of the reason this race is such a grueling experience, is when we get these green flag runs, you start having to come up on lap traffic. And I'll tell you what, out of this 29-car field, there's a lot of tough competitors even further in the back of the pack. So, yeah, the 16 Chad McCumbee is going to have a lot to deal with here. And, boy, that is just what Jared Pryor wants to see for sure.
Oh, my God. And when you're in that position, you are just hoping that those guys' spotter is letting them know, hey, leader's coming. And you're like, man, give me the fast line. Give me the fast line. Get out of my way, please. But we all know that these drivers do not want to go a lap down because you know how hard it is to get your lap back, especially if you're not in that free pass position.
Have a couple of 26 cars racing side by side for position here this evening. Looks like the Toyota will get around there. That's Chevrolet as they go back to turns 1 and 2. We're talking about Peyton Sellers and Danny Edwards. Peyton Sellers with a strong run here this evening. That is for position number 11. Peyton Sellers has it. Danny Edwards will try to get back up there and grab it. Mark Wertz right now runs in position number 13. While we say that, we do have a car on pit road, Vaughn.
Yeah, Ryan Huff pulls down on pit road. Crew pulls up the hood. I can't see exactly what they're pouring into the car, but they're definitely pouring some type of fluid. I was trying to read the bottle here. Yeah, they're putting power steering fluid into the car, so a power steering issue for that 36 of Ryan Huff. They're putting the hood pins back in, and he'll join the field in just a moment.
Oh, God, I could not imagine running this track without power steering fluid. There's no banking to go down and try and hit the lip of the track and make the car turn for you, and you're constantly turning on this thing, so the 36 is in for a very long night if that's the issue that they're fighting. But hats off to him for getting back out there and getting back after it, because this is a long, tough race.
Just 50 laps have been completed. 1/4 of this race is now done. Ryan Huff from Williamsburg, Virginia. He's competed in the ARCA Series and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, just 20 years of age. And he competed in the Truck Series event here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway just earlier this evening. So tough break for Ryan Huff. But again, right now at the moment, it continues to be Chad McCumbee. His lead 0.8 of a second here this evening as we see the field. It continues to circle the track. We're about halfway until that planned yellow flag. I think at this point, Brandon, you probably know what you have with your race car, and you're probably communicating pretty swiftly with your spotters and crew chiefs.
Oh, absolutely. You know exactly what you want. Or even if you don't know what you want, you know what your car is doing. I'm loose. I'm tight. This thing, I can't keep it under me. I'm giving it way too much wheel. There are so many things that are going on right now with these drivers and crews are definitely, you know, coming up with their game plan. What do we need to do to give our driver the best car that they have? And if you're Chad's team, you're going, all right, buddy, what do you need to keep this up? You know, I mean, you played the lap traffic game on easy, but now you're coming up on the 2-wide lap traffic. So what do you need to keep this kind of speed?
Absolutely, and he's getting ready to catch Vaughn a gaggle of race cars just ahead of Chad McCumbee.
That's right. Obviously, this green flag run really starting to play into the strategy of a lot of these teams. It is really good to see that we've been able to stay clean so far in this one, just with the one caution. But I'm just really kind of baffled by a lot of the positions. Some of these good cars are in that we're seeing throughout the field. I really didn't see Chad McCumbee being the dominant so far in this race. I really expected to see probably a Brendan Queen or a Connor Hall showing some speed, but really kind of an upside down field. You look at your defending champion way back in the field. You look and see some of your mainstays here at Langley way back in the field. So there's a lot going on, and really I think if this goes to lap 100 green, Brendan Queen might find himself lapped.
Chad McCumbee is out by a country mile at the moment, but we're seeing some great battling all over this racetrack. It is hard to keep up with because there are cars side by side, including Carter Langley and this 5 car with the 77 of Blake Stallings. That's a battle for the 22nd position as they try to get a little ahead of each other because they know a leader's coming behind them.
That's right, they race side by side through 3 and 4. Carter Langley, first time here at Langley Speedway, is still trying to work that inside line on the 77 Blake Stallings. They race side by side with the leaders coming in tow in a few laps.
It's funny that you're talking about their battle because I'm looking everywhere for them. There are cars all over this track. I'm like, where are they? I want to see it, you know. I'm ready to see some side-by-side door banging. I mean, the 36 and the 25 are getting after it. The 6, nope. Well, he just went a lap down. So now you know the leader is coming. I got to go.
Every position pays out here, Brandon, and that's what's happening here. It doesn't matter where you're on the track. If there's the guy in front of you, you know this more than anything. You want to beat him, right?
Oh, absolutely. You got to get away. I'm playing runaway from the 16. I'm trying to find that extra speed and not burn my tire off. But at this point, I'm like, okay, is it worth it to lay back and take that lap penalty, or do I need to go? And I'm definitely thinking go, go, go.
Well, another thing that's characteristic of this race is, you know, so far it's been a pretty clean one. But, you know, if there's a wreck later on in the night, you want to still remain on the lead lap and be able to be competitive because you could start passing cars, and before you know it, if this race becomes a battle of attrition, you know, staying on the lead lap could really add up to something come lap 200.
Hey, I think your clean and my clean are two different cleans right now because I'm seeing these guys use up nose cones, doors, everything that they need to get around people.
Well,
but it's such awesome racing.
Well, that's actually when I was at the drivers' meeting earlier today, I told them have a clean, safe race. But use a little bit of the sheet metal. So I'm glad they took my word up on that.
Man, if you would have told me to have a good, clean race here, I would have looked around and I would have probably saw some giggles because there is no way on this tight of a track with this, you know, level of competition, somebody's getting into somebody.
No, but that's the best part about short track racing, and these guys are doing just that. And, you know, we're on lap, you know, 65 at the moment, but man, when it's lap 165, boy, I just can't wait to see when the temperature's cranked up on this one.
Oh, everybody's still, you know, it's early in the race. We still have good energy. I'm not, you know, heavy breathing. I'm still pretty hydrated, so everything's good. But when we get to that after the break is when you're going to see, okay, it's going to set in. All right, guys, it's hot in here. It's hard. This track is rough. Our cars might not be handling the best. You know, I got to really dig in and find that extra little bit to get me to the end.
Hey guys, I'm actually watching the track right now, and someone who is starting to make their way through the field a little bit is that number 4 of Caden Honeycutt, as I'm seeing approach the back bumper of Connor Hall going into turn 3 and 4.
Watching that battle, we did see a couple of cars running side by side. The Brandon Pierce car as they try to move up a little bit closer to the field. But you're right, that 4 car beginning to move his way towards the front. Caden Honeycutt going to the inside there, or look to the inside of Connor Hall as they have the 64 of Rick Godovic right there in the mix as well. Rick Godovic is -1 lap at this point. Right now, we have completed a total of 69 laps, 31 laps until we'll get that yellow flag in the air, and we have put a few good cars a lap down. We have lapped all the way up to around the 24th position here early on in this event, and right now we continue to stay clean and green.
Absolutely. You see all of these guys, some single file. A lot of this single file, though, is not as clean as you'd think single file racing would be because we are all over each other going, okay, move, 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 move. You know, that's what I'm doing. But also at the same time thinking, you know, I got to keep this nose cone on this car. I want to keep all 4 corners on it. Again, early in the race, we have a lot of race left. So everybody's on the go, but nobody's on the go like Chad McCumbee is, man. That guy is just putting on a clinic.
Absolutely. 9/10 of a second continues to be his advantage here at the 72nd circuit for Chad McCumbee. So he is able to slice and dice his way through the lap traffic without losing too much ground. Of course, the second place competitor of Jared Fryer was hoping he'd lose a little bit of ground, but as Chad McCumbee is having to negotiate lap traffic, so is Jared Fryer and the rest of the company. But right now, that 16 car is stout, and he is running so strong this evening as he takes it back through turns 3 and 4 and begins to close in to that battle that we documented a little bit earlier. It's the car 5 of Carter Langley and the 77 of Blake Stallings.
And if I'm in that 14 car, I'm looking at those 2 lap cars going at it door to door in front of the leader going, Yes, yes, keep doing that. Bring him on back to me. Bring him back. That's what I want. But no, it looks like everybody's starting to single file out, and the 16 is going to try and pick them off again. But the 14 still fairly close in tow when you look at it. And Bobby McCarty right behind him, too, having to navigate all the lap traffic. It looks like Josh Berry's finally found his footing, and he's, you know, I think he's out there managing tires, but also at the same time going, you know, all right, let's keep up. We still got to navigate these lap cars.
Well, something else to think right now is actually there is a $200. Oh, there we go. There's a $200 check at the end of lap 100. I know it's not that much money for these guys, but hey, there's something on the line here in 23 laps.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to take that $200 and we're going to go, you know what, we're going to donate that to Vaughn's Mike. We're going to get him
Yeah, that's a good
up,
idea.
baby.
We're watching him continue to circle this 4/10 of a mile oval. Everybody fighting as hard as they can, lap after lap. These drivers negotiating this very difficult race course as they try to take these cars back to the first half of this event, which is still 22 circuits away. At the moment, we're watching Josh Berry as he tries to close in to Bobby McCarty. That would be a battle for third position. Josh Berry running some good lap times. He's about 0.2 of a second faster that last lap, Brandon, than Bobby. So we see him visibly closing that gap in.
Absolutely, and right now, if I'm sitting mid-pack, this is the longest 22 laps of my life. Like, okay, that leader's coming. We need a chance to get a break and dial this thing in. So definitely not an easy track to navigate, especially when you have a bunch of lap traffic in front of you. But it's good to see that everybody's starting to close in. I don't know if it's our leaders kind of, you know, taking it back a little bit, like, okay, you know, I want to get to the break and make sure that everything's nice and cooled off, or if they've just found that little bit of extra speed.
Carter Langley is the next driver in danger of going a lap down. Right now, he rides in position number 21 as we continue to see Bobby McCarty and Josh Berry right there as they circle the speedway in positions 3 and 4. And just sandwiched behind them is a lapped car. Brendan Queen in the 0-3, last year's winner. Where is he at the moment? Brendan Queen started up in the 7th position and has fallen to 17th here at the moment. He's about 11 seconds off the mark from our race leader. Right ahead of Brendan Queen is the 8 of Thomas Scott. So Brendan Queen, I think, Brandon, he's hoping for either this race was a hurry up and get to lap 100, or we need a caution for that car, he probably thinks.
Oh, absolutely. I want to go to pit road so badly and get these guys to tune this thing up right. I need whatever I need to get this thing handling. Oh, looks like we saw Mark Wirtz give the 26 car a little shove. You know, get out of my way, please.
Hey, and Vaughn, that's short track racing, right? Okay, I'm there, I'll give you a little bit of a bump, but then eventually I'm going to move you out of the way.
Yeah, definitely something interesting to see, considering Peyton Sellers, your current points leader for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series, and he's not really having a good night in a race that counts for national points. But yeah, I wasn't looking over toward 4, but I definitely heard suddenly someone let off the throttle big time, and there was 26 riding up the track.
Oh, and that's the best part about short track racing is, look, Peyton Sellers is right up to the bumper of the 55, where we just saw that battle take place, and that little, excuse me, move. I don't think anybody said please like I did, though. I think they just said move.
That's right. Get out of the way. I need to get a little closer to the front.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark Wirtz actually driving with a mission right now as he now looks to the back bumper of Woody Howard going into turns 1 and 2. He's definitely found some speed late in this run. He's trying to click off as many spots as he can.
I think Mark Wirtz said, you know what, guys? Get those next 2 tires ready. I'm going to want them. We're going to the front now.
And that's a good question. Do you take the tires at lap 100 or you take them at lap 150 if you're making that call, Brandon?
See,
there's where you're at.
there's a big reason why I like to turn the wheel and not make these calls. I let my crew chief, Doug Randolph, on these. This is a tough call. I mean, you don't lose any position if you go in this time. You get 2 fresh tires. You go right back out where you were. So in my mind, if I'm the leader, then I do want the fresh tires. I want to keep going the way that I'm going. But if I'm maybe a little bit off the pace, okay, I want to wait to the last possible minute to get those tires and make a last second run at it.
Ryan Huff, very slow coming off of turn number 4 that last time. Looks like he is beginning to move now, but that car came off the 4th corner just very, very slow. Ryan Huff, we documented his difficult night early on. He's being scored right now in 27th race position. So, Vaughn, what would you do if you were the crew chief of some of these drivers?
Well, it would depend where I'm at in the field. If I'm somebody like Chad McCumbee, I probably have had a way better chance at saving my tires during this run than someone like a Mark Wirtz. So, I mean, if you're looking to make a charge and you're not just looking for finishing first, but finishing somewhere, say, in the top 10, you're probably going to go for the tires at 100. But Chad, you know, it depends. You know, he might feel like he's got enough to stay up front and get those tires later on.
Well, what's your call?
Yeah, you know, that's a good call. I don't know if I would wait till lap 150 for that last 50-lap shootout when you know that some drivers may lay back and wait to have those fresh tires on for that final 50-lap shootout. But, you know, we're going to find out here in just a few more laps what everybody does. We know our race leader, Chad McCumbee, has caught up to the 20th place driver of Casey Wyatt in the 29 car from Newport News. So 20 cars, now 19 cars will be on the lead lap when we go back at it here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. But the race leader has been Chad McCumbee. He has led all evening long, but look who's beginning to close in that gap. It has been chopped down to now just 0.4 of a second. We're talking about Jared Fryer has closed in. He has something for Chad McCumbee now as he race off a 2.
Yeah, I am definitely out there right now thinking about, okay, what kind of times is our leader running? What kind of times am I running? Because that's going to be my deciding factor on, do I want to go get those 2 fresh tires or do I want to save them to the end? Because if I know where his pace is at and I think that I can stay ahead of him, which there's not a lot of drivers I don't think that can say that, because it looks like he's putting a lot of cars a lap down. So right now, I'm thinking if I'm getting ready to get lapped, I need to stay ahead. I've only got 2 laps until I guess we're dosing out that free pass, right?
Absolutely, that's right. So 2 laps away from the yellow flag coming out. So everybody's hoping they stay ahead of Chad McCumbee, who has lapped again up to the 20th place driver right now of Casey Wyatt. Next on the hit list would be Carter Langley. Here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Actually, Carter Langley has been lapped as well, so we're actually a little further up in the pack of the racing field here as we're coming back to lap number 100. And it looks like the yellow flag will be coming out here in just a few moments as Chad McCumbee crosses by the start-finish line. We are now halfway home at America's hottest race, the Hampton Heat. It's the 13th annual edition of this great race. And it looks like we are seeing all the field come by. I believe race control wants everybody to come by and complete that lap. And now the yellow flag has been displayed. This is a planned yellow flag, and the laps will not count until we go back to the green flag. So yellow flag is in the air. And Brandon, finally some drivers can breathe a sigh of relief. They're going to get a minute to catch their breath.
Oh, I know. And if you had that 16 car on your tail, you went, whoo! And if you're the first one lap down behind them, you're like, okay, guys, well, we get our lap back. You know, let's dial this thing in. The rest of the field, you're like, oh, man, I got a little bit of coming back to do. So definitely a tough race. This is where we're going to start seeing a little bit of attrition on driver, on equipment, on, you know, some attitude in the garage. You want to know that your team's on it, that they're getting ready to make some awesome changes for you to get your car tuned up, I guess as fast as that 16 car. But also, it looked like that 14 car came alive of Jared Fryer. So they're probably asking him right now, Jared, what do you need, buddy? What do you need to fire off a little faster just like that?
Jared Fryer running a very strong race. We saw him begin to close into Chad McCumbee, and had we had a few more green flag laps, he may have made a move on Chad McCumbee. But now we are under the yellow flag. We're going to have a planned stoppage for 15 minutes to allow these drivers to come down pit road, talk with their crew members, make some adjustments, possibly add an additional 2 tires or change 2 tires. It's only a 2-tire race, so once you make that change, that's it. You have to live with it for the rest of the 100-lap event. You will not lose positions in the pits when they come in, and then we will have one more planned yellow flag, not a stoppage, but a yellow flag period with laps not counting on lap 150. So right now it looks like the yellow flag again has been displayed, and looking at our timing line here, our monitor, 18 cars are being showed on the lead lap thus far in this race. The first car 1 lap down is a 91 of Terry Carroll. So 18 cars still in the lead lap, and that just shows you how competitive this racetrack is. Looks like the 64 car has stopped here on the front straightaway. Not sure if something went wrong with Rick Godovic's car or not.
Hey, Brian, they're just putting the lap cars to the back of the field here so they can get them in the right order to pull them down pit road.
Very good. So they're going to get everybody buttoned up and get everybody ready to come down pit road. As again, Chad McCumbee has led the entire 100 laps. Jared Fryer is being scored in second. Bobby McCarty runs third. And then Josh Berry rounds out the top four. Connor Hall is fifth. Caden Honeycutt is sixth. Justin Johnson runs seventh. Greg Edwards is eighth. Timothy Peters is ninth. And Mark Wirtz rounds out the top 10. Looking at where your favorite driver's running at the moment, Peyton Sellers is 11th. Matt Waltz is 12th. 13th is Danny Edwards. 14th is Woody Howard. 15th is Nick Smith. Thomas Scott is 16th. Brendan Queen struggling here tonight in 17th position. Brandon Pierce in the 2P is 18th. 19th is Terry Carroll. And Carter Langley rounds out the top 20. 21st is Casey Wyatt. Grayson Cullither is 22nd. Blake Stallings is 23rd. Craig Estep runs 24th. 25th is Chris Johnson. Rick Godovic 26th. Ryan Huff with lots of mechanical issues, power steering issues, is 27th. Colin Garrett right now is 28th. And Justin S. Carroll out of the race at lap number 11 is being scored in 29th position. So, Vaughn, your area is getting ready to get really busy. Vaughn Crittenden down with us on pit road, getting ready to get set for all these cars to come down pit lane and have 15 minutes. That's something, Brandon, you're not used to that. You're used to, we got to get back out of the racetrack, and I may lose some positions here on pit road.
Yeah, I know. I'm not used to being on this side of things where it's like, okay, I'm getting ready for my 15-minute break. I've got no pressure. I'm going to run over and grab an ice-cold Larry's Lemonade, and you can too if you're over 21. So make sure that you're coming over and you're checking out the refreshment stands here at Langley Speedway. But yeah, definitely no pressure on this side, so it's a little nicer, you know. This isn't as bad. I'm not as worried about what's Chad doing, what's Jarrett doing, what's Bobby doing. He's been running quietly right there, but he's nipping on the heels of him. So, you know, I'm not worried about what those guys are doing. I'm worried about hanging out and enjoying my race.
Absolutely. And speaking of laying back, do you think some of these drivers like a Josh Berry or a Bobby McCarty, are they maybe conserving just a little bit since they are inside the top 5? Maybe save some of my tires for this last 50-lap shootout?
Absolutely. And I mean, they're not rookies. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to get around this track. So, I mean, it's definitely a place where I could say I would comfortably be, you know, conserving my tires if I'm not going to keep up on that huge stretch that Chad had. So, but now I guess we're going to find out who's taking 2 and who's not.
Absolutely. The green flag has been waved for our pit road Stewart down there, letting everybody know to come on down pit lane. Each driver will have about 15 minutes. They will not lose positions. The field has been frozen, and they can elect to change 2 tires or not. And right now we see the entire field coming down there to get ready for this 15-minute period to allow them a few moments to, again, catch their breath, make some adjustments on those race cars, possibly go ahead and change some tires on those vehicles, and get ready for the final 100-lap dash with the knowing that we're going to have another stoppage, or at least a yellow flag period on lap 150. So, Vaughn, it's looking busy down there.
That's right. All these teams getting into position here. They will be on the clock to do whatever they want to do. One thing that teams have to do right now is they got to put fuel in the car for the rest of the race. They will not be allowed to do it at any other point in the next 100 laps. So we know for certain all these teams are going to be putting fuel in the car. Driver's going to get a chance to get out, cool down, take some water. I saw a lot of Pedialyte on pit road as well. So that's what teams will be able to do right now. Obviously, some will decide to take tires now. Some will do it later. You can also make some minor adjustments. So this is the point where the race can really change as teams are prepared to figure out what they want to do for these last 100 laps.
Man, I'm really hoping if I'm on a crew right now that my driver didn't make anybody mad or use their bumper up too much, because I might be working on a car and playing defense. So I don't know. I got to have eyes on the front and the back of my head. So no, it's definitely a time as a driver that now you get to sit and go, okay, hey guys, this is what I need. This is what we need to do. Let's get this thing tuned up right. Yeah, I mean, definitely taking a break. I would love that if they start implementing that in our races.
You might have somebody out there listening. Maybe they'll take note of that. And right now we see some drivers climbing out of the race cars to catch their breath, because we know we have 15 minutes here to be able to catch your breath.
That's right, and catching breath, as well as, you know, let's debrief with the crew really quick and make sure that they know that we need to make some changes.
Let's go trackside and talk with the race leader up to this point.
That's right. I'm here with your Hampton Heat pole sitter, Chad McCumbee. He has led every lap in this one so far. First off, Chad, we got a check for $200 as the halfway winner from Acrodale Vending. So congrats, Chad. Obviously, I don't think you probably have many complaints about your car so far tonight, but how was that first 100 laps for you?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. I don't, this being our first time and running this event, I had to push it a little harder than I wanted to. Those guys were pushing me pretty good first handful of laps. And once we got out, I mean, I really set sail and just tried to ride and really take care of some stuff. But, you know, I don't, being first time here running this event, I don't know how much to save. You know, I think our experience back at the Myrtle Beach Speedway years ago is certainly helping us here a little bit. But I just hope I've saved enough. I think everybody was slipping and sliding pretty good. I felt like the pace was just a little bit too quick, but everybody kind of seemed to be running that. So we'll see. We'll take a look at everything and kind of get an evaluation and go from there.
So are you guys going to take tires at this 100 lap, or are you guys going to wait 50 more?
I don't know. I guess it depends if they get scared when they look at them. So I think we're just going to kind of try to look at what everybody else is doing. Like I said, we don't have any notes on this race, so we're kind of just guessing and going with it and see what we're going to come up with here. But so far, so good. I mean, I'm super proud of where we're at and where we've come from. I feel like that we made huge strides in our program, and hopefully we can get that cool trophy though a little later.
All right, sounds good. Well, that's Chad McCumbee again, the winner of the halfway award, and has led all 100 laps so far in this event. And Adam Welbrock, I know you're further down pit road with a few other drivers in this one.
That's right, Vaughn. I'm down here in the 26 pit. Peyton Sellers' team has the hood up on this race car. Want to know if we can get a quick word with Peyton? You guys struggling a little bit. You had some words with Danny Edwards. What was that all about?
Yeah, me and him are just trying to ride and be patient right there. A couple of the guys were coming on pretty strong behind us, trying to use up a lot of tire, and me and Danny kind of felt a good spot there where we were able to save some, and it was just we were racing a little harder than we wanted to this point of the race. So, you know, we've got a good car. We just got to be smart. We got to have some track position, and right now I don't know how to get it. So it's just everybody's driving pretty hard right now. Where we're at, I'd love to be up in that top 5 right now because that's where you can kind of save some tires. So.
Yeah, and you guys are running about 11th, just outside the top 10. What in particular are you struggling with right now?
We're just needing roll speed right now. I think if we were clean air, and I think it would turn better. So we're going to try to get it turning a little better in the center, and drive off stayed with me pretty good right there. So now it's just a matter of getting that hard track position.
All right, well, good luck to you, sir. Thank you for your time. And Vaughn, we'll send it up to you. The 26 team looking to go forward.
That's right. I got the number 6, a 6th place runner right now, the number 4 of Caden Honeycutt. Caden, when you were last here in June, you absolutely whooped the Cars Tour's butt and everyone else out here. Obviously, still doing good right now, running, I believe, in the 6th position. How do you feel for the rest of this race?
We should be fine. You know, he said that we were matching times with the leaders right there at the end, so I think it'll be okay. We just been riding the whole time, you know, being up front in June, you know, I could set up my own pace, and I was actually out front so I can build a gap that I wanted. And, you know, this being 9th and, you know, with them having a big gap right away, so I was just chilling out, just saving our stuff. And we got contact from a lap car for some reason. I'm not really sure, but it's fine. We're just going to tune it up and make some adjustments, and we got some fuel in it, and we're going to make sure it's good to go.
All right, well, that's Caden Honeycutt. Again, you're driving the number 4, your Cars Tour winner last month. Back to you, Adam.
And I'm standing down here with defending race winner and track champion, Brendan Queen. Brendan, we're just talking, you guys. Sunday cruise was the phrase you gave to me.
Yeah, there's no point in running. I aborted. I was up there with them and felt like the pace was way too fast, too early, and I just said, we're aborting this, and we just found us a hole in the back here, and we're going to try to make a little progress right now on this next segment. I mean, about 7 or 8 of them were coming back to us, and we weren't even running half throttle there. So we're going to make a charge here and try to get some track position back, and hopefully we won't get caught up in some of the mess back here. They're all over the place. But like I said, 03 cars, old school video game. Toyota is in good shape, and we're dealing with a little brake issue we were having. But other than that, man, we're ready to try to go defend the title.
And you guys were just riding earlier. Are there any adjustments that you're making? Anything you're struggling with in particular?
We're a little too tight on late exit, so we're going to try to free it up just enough to get that late turn so I can get that Ford Rayvon Clark Ford crate pointed down the straightaway and make some power.
All right, well, good luck to you, boss. And Vaughn, the strategy down here, a lot like Talladega and Daytona, staying out of trouble, dropping to the back.
That's right. I'm joined right now with current 5th place runner Connor Hall. Connor, you won this event 2 years ago. How do you feel about your first 100 laps in this one?
I think we're really good. You know, just a tiny bit loose here through the middle. You know, I don't think the track's, you know, got as much grip as I expected it to. So we're going to make some adjustments here. And, you know, I've done the same thing in 19 and 20 strategy-wise. It didn't leave me wrong, so I'm going to try it again and see what we got.
All right, guys. Well, that's Connor Hall. He'll be restarting when we go green here in the 5th position.
Hearing the thoughts of several of our drivers down along pit road here for the 13th annual Hampton Heat 200 under the red flag here at the halfway mark. Drivers having the opportunity to make some adjustments to their race cars and get set to come back out here for these final 100 laps. Chad McCumbee has been the dominator thus far.
And real quick, we're also down here on pit road with current 4th place runner Josh Berry. Josh, you've obviously had a lot of fast moments here at Langley Speedway. How do you feel about your car after that first 100?
Yeah, I think we're okay. We need to be a little bit better for this next half. It's going to be interesting how it all plays out here because this first half we're going to be on old tires and then you know, put our 2 on at the end and kind of have to adjust for that. So it's going to be just about who makes the right adjustments. Yeah, I think all top 4 of us were all there pretty close. So we'll just see what we can do here and just try to do the best we can.
So obviously this is your first Hampton Heat. How unique is a race has this been so far for you, your first time here?
Yeah, no, it's been a great experience. You know, everybody at Langley Speedway does a great job with promotion and always good to us when we come here. So it's been a great race. Hopefully we can put on a good show the second half. Great crowd out here tonight. Thank all you guys for coming. Well, like I said, we're just going to try to put on a good show and just want to say hi to my family at home and Dale Jr., Kelly, everybody for doing this. All Things Automotive, Mark Thomas, I think he's watching, iRacing, all of our partners. It's fun. Been a busy couple months for me. It's fun to come run this late model car. We're going to try to see what we can do the second half.
All right, guys, well, that's Josh Berry. He'll be restarting 4th when we go green here in just a little bit.
Keeping our eyes on Josh Berry, who certainly went to Dale Emmons victory lane here at this racetrack over the years, just has not competed in the Hampton Heat. His first one is tonight, and he certainly has a strong running thus far. Qualified his car in 3rd position. Right now runs in 4th as we get set to go back racing here in a bit. Again, work continues on these cars, and I guess I got to ask the question down there along pit lane, have we seen anybody adjust or maybe make some tire changes yet? So we'll check in with our pit road reporters here and just see if there's any tire changes that have been made. I do see some tires have been brought out, and we're just waiting to waiting to see if that indeed takes place here at lap 100 or if they're going to wait until lap 150 right now. As again, Chad McCumbee, Jared Fryer, Bobby McCarty, and Josh Berry right now are being scored among the top 4 here early on in this race. 1 half is complete. Everybody gets a moment to catch their breath because they're going to come back out for the second half of the race. Drivers down there talking with their crew chiefs, crew members looking those cars over. There has been some beating and banging on a Saturday night on a very short track, and we certainly see that on a Saturday night.
That's right, Brian. Obviously, these teams doing a lot of adjustments right now up and down pit road. Clearly, a lot of teams are not exactly happy with the way their cars have been acting in this one so far. I see all 4 jack stands are up on some of these cars, including the Justin Johnson machine. Greg Edwards was on all 4 jack stands, so they're making some wholesale changes to that car. So a lot of happening here down on pit road as I see some of the drivers, really trying to, work on hydrating, tires being changed left and right. But what I love to see, and you definitely see it at this level, the drivers are out of these cars. They are underneath the cars. They're making the adjustments themselves. They're working all over the place. I look right over here right now. Timothy Peters looking underneath the left rear of his Autos by Nelson Chevrolet. Earlier, Bobby McCarty and Josh Berry were working on their cars as well. So these guys are hands-on drivers, and it's a great thing to see out here as we've only got 6 minutes left in this work session as these teams try to prepare these cars for the final 100 laps.
That's right. The clock is ticking down for these drivers and crew members. And one driver that's just outside of the top 5, it is Caden Honeycutt, who pilots car number 4. He's from Texas in that entry. 18 years old, lives in Willow Park, Texas. Has done really, really good over the years. Started racing Bandoleros in 2012 in Alabama and Texas. And right now, taking on his first Hampton Heat, and he rides in the 6th position as we see the hood is up on that race car as the crew members are making some adjustments and looking things over to try to get him just a little bit more so he can take in these final 100 laps and hopefully crack the top 5 and maybe even make it down into Dale Lemon's victory lane, something that certainly is possible as we still have a long ways to go. Just one half of this race is complete, and drivers and crew chiefs are thinking about what do we got to do to get a little bit better to close into that Chad McCumbee car. And of course, Jared Fryer, he was right there closing that gap in lap over lap, so we certainly will see what he has in store. Race fans, just a few more moments. We're less than 5 minutes from going back under the yellow flag or moving these cars off of pit lane and continuing the Hampton Heat 200. We saw Mark Wirtz just a little bit earlier there. His cars, we're now looking at the 12 entry down there along pit lane, and there is the Mark Wirtz, car number 55. Right now, Mark is being scored in 10th position. Longtime racer here at this speedway. His best Hampton Heat finish is 4th back in 2013 and again in 2009. Mark is a 5-time Larry King Law's Langley Speedway track champion with more than 100 plus wins. He has 2 NASCAR regional championships, and get this, he won the 2020 Larry King Law Modified Championship just this past year. This is Mark's 12th Hampton Heat. You see him strapping that helmet on, getting ready to go back at it for these final 100 laps. Race control telling all the drivers to go ahead and get back in their race cars to get ready for this second half of this race. As Mark Wirtz, one of those drivers who is very smart. He knows when to push the go button and when to slow down, but certainly slowing down is not the thing Mark Wirtz normally does. He may get out of the way to allow drivers to rough it out, and then he'll close back in that gap later on in the event. But Mark Wirtz, certainly a very smart race car driver as we get set to watch him go back to battle here this evening. I've seen a lot of hoods go down on pit lane as Adam Welbrock is down there also helping us along pit lane. Adam, any other storylines you're watching here along pit lane?
No, but I noticed the 12 car, Timothy Peters, those right sides look pretty fresh on that 12 car, guys. You asked who were changing tires. I think the 12 car was the first guy on my list that I saw from my end of pit lane. Some scuff marks on the 21 car, so Greg Edwards, he was been in the wall at some point throughout this 100-lap run.
Timothy Peters, 40 years of age, has made a top 5 finish in every single Hampton Heat start. As a matter of fact, Timothy Peters finished 5th last year. Just an impressive track record for him. And 40 years of age, has raced the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series with 11 career wins when he began in that series in 2005. Finished 2nd in the 2012 Camping World Truck Series point standings and has made some limited NASCAR Xfinity Series starts. He makes his 5th Hampton Heat appearance here in 2021, and we'll keep our eyes on how he performs tonight. Right now, he is currently being scored in P9, just behind Greg Edwards and just ahead of Mark Wirtz. And when we get set to go back at it here tonight. So I'm sure these drivers are certainly thinking about what do we got to do to get just a little bit better and what strategy calls they may make, particularly when they know they're going to have one more yellow flag coming up here in just a bit. There's Woody Howard in car number 41. Woody Howard, a past winner of this event. He won back in 2009 in that Wood Brothers Racing-inspired car paint scheme. His last start in this event was 2019. He finished 7th. For that 39-year-old. He's a 5-time career winner in the X1R Pro Cup Series. Has done some great things there, and he makes his 6th Hampton Heat 200 as he begins to get back into that race car and go back at it. One thing that's noticeably missing on that car is the hood as they continue to work on that along pit lane. So at least Adam, you know of one driver that has made some tire changes down there, and I'm sure others have as well here during this planned stoppage of this race.
Yeah, and one of those guys not on that list was Brendan Queen. You heard from him there. Those guys just riding it out first 100 laps. They are not changing tires. So look for the 03 to continue doing a little riding. We'll see him in the last 50-lap dash for sure.
And that was interesting, Adam. He said he elected to back out of it. I also heard him say maybe some brake issues potentially as well. But he said he purposely backed out of it to let those boys have at it, and he was going to come back at it a little bit later.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, is that strategy going to work? He is the defending winner of this race. We saw that kind of similar strategy last year. Brendan kind of just laying low, not really forcing the issue. He mentioned the guys up front were really pushing after it, so it's going to be fun to watch how these next 50 laps go. As I believe you or Vaughn mentioned, he was about to get lapped there, so he's got to be a little careful. Can't do a whole lot of riding, but he's definitely one guy with a lot of experience, and it's going to be fun to see him attack towards the end of this race.
Right now, Brendan is being scored in 17th position, and we have right now 18 cars on the lead lap. So you're right, he was in danger of going -1, but was able to stay ahead of the race leader. All right, well, we're seeing some race officials walk down the pit lane. They're beginning to move the crew members from behind pit road wall so we can get set to go back at it here this evening. 20 seconds is all that remains here during this stoppage, so they are clearing pit road as we speak, as the drivers are getting ready to refire these race cars and go back at it. This is the only time we're going to stop the race like this. At lap 150, we'll have yellow flag will be displayed, and drivers will be able to elect to come down pit lane or stay out on the racetrack. But work has now been told to stop at this time. We're getting set to go back at it here this evening at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Great crowd on hand. This is a fantastic crowd that has gathered here in Eastern Virginia, the peninsula of Virginia, as they are witnessing one of the greatest late model stock car races here in 2021. This is part of the Virginia Triple Crown. The first race in that Triple Crown is at the South Boston Speedway on Independence Day weekend just a few weeks back. This is leg 2 here tonight, and then leg 3 will take place coming up at the legendary Martinsville Speedway. Engines have come back to life. We're getting set to go back at it here this evening. We do have one vehicle that is blocking, and we need it moved. It's a Hyundai license plate 4GVN me, Forgiven Me, Virginia license plate. If you could please move that vehicle at this time. Well, the yellow flag has come back out. We are rolling off of pit lane. And so Brandon, we had some strategy where some drivers elected to make some tire changes, and some, like Brendan Queen, said, no, we're going to hold tight and we're going to wait. And so likely at lap 150, they're going to come back in and make that change.
Well, if I'm Brendan Queen, I'm feeling that's my best chance. If my pace hasn't been up to where I feel that I can have a chance to run at the front purely off of the speed that I've had, then, hey, you know what? I want those last 50 lap feel goods is what I want to put on. And now my goal is stay on the lead laps, do whatever I can, stay in front of the leaders. It's hustle time.
Absolutely, and that time has come. And Adam, they're now beginning to move. So pit road, it was kind of a busy time while you were down there.
Yeah, a lot of crew members making adjustments, cars going up on jack stands, a lot of tires being changed, and hey, even drivers getting some refreshing cold water, getting to cool down and getting a reset here for another 50 laps. It's going to be exciting.
That's right. 100 laps remain here this evening, as we still have about half the cars that still set on pit road at this time. So looks like Woody Howard, that hood has come off, and they're not, I don't see it going back on. So we may have that modified look quite possibly, but we're going to find out. Von Crittenden also down there on pit lane as we're getting ready to go back at it.
That's right. Chicken tender break complete for myself. I'd forgotten to eat dinner. It's been such a wild day for me, so that I had my own pit stop, and boy, I feel like a new person right now. But yeah, a lot of cars here on pit road still trying to wait to get off. I'm looking to see if there's anything still going on. Looks like they're just trying to get some order stuff straight, so we'll see how this goes in just a second.
Well, as chaotic as it looks, I've never been on this side of everything, but like we talked about earlier, Vaughn, my hat's off to you and everybody, Bill Mullis, everybody here at Langley Speedway for putting on this event, because, man, I thought racing had chaos. At least ours had a little bit of control. Up here, man, it's a lot. And so, yeah, my hat's off to you guys. And, I mean, the stands here are packed. I'm loving it. We're going billboard to billboard with fans here, tailgating in the stands. A big shout out to my friends over there in turn 3 and 4 who threw me a free cheeseburger. So I appreciate you guys, everybody over there at While You're Out Commercial Cleaning Services. I told them I'd give them a quick shout out. Kurt, thank you for the free cheeseburger. You're the man. But no, I definitely commend you guys because, man, the stands are packed. There was so much traffic on the way in. I was like, holy cow, am I at a NASCAR Xfinity Series race or am I at the Hampton Heat? You could have fooled me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brandon, we got a pretty big audience out here. We got thousands of people in the grandstands. We got thousands more watching at home. And I'll go ahead and make the call out right now to Ray Evernham and Tony Stewart. I don't know why we couldn't have SRX next year in 2022. I don't know why we couldn't have a Camping World Truck Series race here in the next couple of years. Well, this event proves we can do it.
Well, I guess I better give my shout out too. Hey, Ray Evernham, I'm ready to come get my seat fitted in one of those SRX cars, especially if you have it here at Langley Speedway. I'll show you how to get it done in Virginia as a Virginia driver.
And speaking of wild things and looking at the future, that could be a great wild thing here at the racetrack. We do have a full moon. We just had our camera on that, and that in racing can spell problems or lots of excitement. Do want to give a shout out to Chad and Heather from South Boston, Virginia. Justin Kern, our Director of Media Relations, met them at the campground last week. They attend South Boston for the first leg of the Virginia Triple Crown and have made their first trip to Langley's Hampton Heat 200 tonight. So we do want to welcome them to the Speedway. So a full moon, Brandon. Wow, that it doesn't look like full moon racing up to this point. It's been hard racing, don't get me wrong, side by side. Some drivers trading sheet metal and paint there. But now this could get interesting these last 100 laps.
Yeah, if I'm a driver, I don't want to know that there's a full moon. I really don't. I want to think that I'm going to keep all four corners on this car because this race is chaotic already. But I tell you what, during that little break, I ran outside to go use the bathroom, grab a little refreshment. Just saw, I mean, the fans here are electric. So if you're watching from home, I hope you're just as excited as everybody else is, because it got me re-excited when I was coming back up to the booth. I was like, all right, we got another set of 100 laps coming at us live, and you know, we got a little break in the middle, so it might not get as strung out, which is going to keep the racing close. All right, so now as we get ready to go back green, I'm thinking, okay, the very start of this race, these guys were all over me. Chad said it. He's like, you know, the pace was fast, you know, so he didn't get to save as much as he wanted to. And I was like, oh, man, maybe he's just got a great pace, but he's keeping some tires on him. But nope, he was all go. So these drivers are all at 100%, so now it's the last 100 laps. If you got your two tires, you know, you want to make them last. If you don't, you're doing everything you can to stay ahead of the leader and stay on the lead lap, because at the last 50 laps, I'm going to get my two field goods and go for the front.
That's right. That's a lot of strategy that has been going to be played out here in these final 100 laps at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. And we're watching one car that continues to set there on pit road. Adam, I'm not sure if that's close to you or not. That may be the Woody Howard car that we documented earlier. His hood had stayed off of that race car, and indeed it is. And I'm not sure, Vaughn, you may be down there as well.
Yeah, I'm down here. Obviously, I'm going to wait until they fix the car here to figure out what they're going to do before I talk to the crew. But they are working something hard on the left front suspension area underneath of that car. I can't quite see exactly what they're working on. A lot of lights down here, a lot of crew guys trying to help something out. So they're trying to get this going. Woody Howard's still strapped in, window net up. It looks like they're getting ready to put the hood back on this thing, as we have less than 2 laps to go before we go green. But the good news is these caution laps we have right now do not count. So that is something good in the Woody Howard camp.
Man, and that car looks awesome. Looks like an old Wood Brothers throwback, so I love it. I thought that was the coolest looking car out here. So I'm really pulling for Woody. I hope him and his crew can get that thing buttoned back up, or who knows, maybe I'm Woody and I'm just, you know, playing the game. I want to keep these laps off my tires. Let these guys burn a couple heat laps up. Hold that hood for a minute. Oh, we're getting ready to go back green. Okay, put it on, put it on, put it on.
I got to go. It's time. That's right. Woody was running in 14th position, so that's certainly a heartbreak as he continues to set on pit road. The indication has been given. We are going back to racing in just one more lap. As we see the lights have gone off the pace truck again, it's Chad McCumbee, first-time racer. We talked about him. He's also a movie star, if you will. He started ESPN's movie 3 as Dale Earnhardt Jr., racing here tonight as the leader from the pole position. He's had a very, very solid night.
Well, if I'm a race fan right now, I've cracked my Larry's Hard Lemonade open, and I'm ready to watch some hard racing as we get ready to go back green. So Chad McCumbee looking up at the flag stand, ready to go.
Chad McCumbee hits the go button, steps on the throttle, works the gearbox, the inside line moves. He takes the field back to turns 1 and 2 with Bobby McCarty in tow. Here comes Jared Fryer on the outside as they race side by side for P2 in turns 3 and 4.
Bobby McCarty looking on the inside of that 14, and Jared Fryer down the Buck straightaway. The front straightaway, trying to take that second spot away as we get these second 100 laps underway.
Jared Fryer trying to reload now off of turn number 2. Has a little bit of assist from Josh Berry there over in turns 3 and 4. Berry battling side by side with McCarty for third spot. He's trying to make something happen now as they work off of 4.
That's right, down the front straightaway they come right now. Those guys will race single file, but Josh Berry looks so high on the outside. Here comes Bobby McCarty looking on the inside. That is the battle for third as they finally go single file in the 3 and 4.
Josh Berry takes over position number 3. Bobby McCarty drop kick back to 4th. Here comes Connor Hall, the driver who won a couple of years ago in the number 77. Did they make the right adjustments to get that car closer to the head of the field? He's looking all over Bobby McCarty down the backstretch. But up front, it's a 3-car breakaway led by Chad McCumbee. Sandwiched in the middle is Jared Fryer. Josh Berry rides in 3rd.
That's right. The 16 of Chad McCumbee is staying alive right now, as it looks like Josh Berry, he might have found some speed during that break as he's starting to put the pressure on that 14 car.
Everybody is side by side, though, if we look at the middle of the field. When I told you about us getting ready to go, these guys are trading paint already. We're 5 laps into the new run, and these guys are already at each other's throats on this thing. So it's really awesome to see, and it looks like Connor Hall did get the right adjustments made as he dives on the inside of Bobby McCarty.
That's a good battle for 4th position, Vaughn. I think Brandon's having a good time. Big smiles up here in the tower, watching some exciting late model racing in the Hampton Heat 200, America's hottest race, as 3 cars are at the head of the field, led by Chad McCumbee. His lead only 0.4 of a second over Jared Fryer, but Josh Berry is applying a lot of pressure. He's ready to eat Jared Fryer's lunch as they go back to 1 and 2. Fryer has just a little bit of a margin over that 8 car, but he's ready to roll now as they come back to complete lap number 108 this time around.
Yeah, definitely something also to watch right now. As Bobby McCarty is really holding up that 77 of Connor Hall as Connor keeps trying to peek to the inside every time they go through the corner. It looks like he'll finally get some as caution is out. It looks like we got a car around off of 4.
Yellow flag number 3 flies here this evening because of a spinner. It looks like Rick Godovic has spun over here in turn number 4. He had some problems there. Not sure exactly what started that. By the time we looked over there, that car is already facing the wrong direction. He's facing the Larry's Hard Lemonade pavilion over here in turn number 4. So not sure if he had some contact with another driver, but nevertheless, Rick Godovic not having the night he wanted right now. He right now is being scored in 25th position. Talked with Rick Godovic on Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News earlier this week with Scott Allen. And Rick Godovic, of course, the father of Brandon Godovic, which competes against you in the NASCAR Xfinity Series every once in a while. And Rick Godovic just having some fun. Won his first make that first modified race just a few weeks ago. A very talented race car driver. He and Brendan Queen have teamed up this year, and just not having the run he's looking for right now, but I'm sure he'll reload and give it another go here in just a bit. Yellow flag again, number 3 at lap number 108, and we'll get set to re-rack this field and go back to the green here in just a couple of more laps.
You definitely don't ever want to be looking the wrong way when there's a full 29 car field because that just screams danger. But I guess if I am looking up at the Larry's Lemonade corner over there, then I feel a little bit of safety.
All right, good times, and there is the Larry's Pavilion here. That is a new experience at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway that opened up this year. It's a private area that race fans can come join us here in turn number 4 to take in the action. And look at that, they are right up against the fence here in turn number 4. There's cornhole boards down there. It's high top seating. I mean, it's just a whole new experience, a whole new way to take in racing.
Absolutely, and there was an Xfinity Series car over there, the one that we actually raced at Daytona and Talladega, and will be at the next Daytona. So it was very cool to bring that car out, let fans see it, get to experience, talk to everybody, and it's just so awesome to hear how many people are following myself, my team, as we make a run at the NASCAR Xfinity Series out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. So thank you, fans, for everybody that stopped by, got stuff signed. I know that everybody over at the Larry's Lemonade camp was happy to see everyone, so it was definitely fun, and it's a fun way to experience such an awesome event that we have going on tonight.
Get your tickets for that at langley-speedway.com. And hey, while you're there, check out the full schedule. This racetrack provides exciting Saturday night racing. This is our 71st year. We've had big NASCAR national events with drivers like Richard Petty, Buddy Baker, and others who have raced on this facility. Once a dirt track that was eventually paved, and we've had NASCAR Xfinity Series races here in the past as well. Lots of rich history here in Hampton, Virginia. Just great support by the city of Hampton. We had much of our representatives here tonight, including the mayor, who dropped the green flag here this evening, the Honorable Mayor, that is, Donnie Tuck, who's been a good supporter of this racetrack, and we're just so thankful for their support. Let's go trackside to Vaughn Crittenden.
That's right. I just spoke with Woody Howard's team out here trying to figure out what they were doing underneath the car Turns out they had a twisted hind joint that they were trying to fix, so that's what was taking them so long on pit road. Luckily, they were able to get it fixed, and he went right back on the track.
All right, so Woody Howard has rejoined the fray here in car number 41. Unfortunately, he's a few laps down, 3 by my math, or maybe, yeah, 3 by my math. I'm counting my fingers and toes up here. But a heartbreak for a car that was running so strong, but he'll certainly know that he has another chance next time. Indication has been given. We're going back to racing next time around. Remember, we will get a caution on lap 150 or thereabout. So right now we're at 113. When they take the green flag, it'll be at 114. As right now, again, it's Chad McCumbee at the head of the field. To his right elbow is Jared Fryer. Row 2 is Josh Berry and Bobby McCarty. Josh Berry seems to be coming to life as we get set to go back to racing. Pace Truck is going to hit pit lane, and Von Crittenden give us that call.
Chad McCumbee starting where he's been all night long. He'll take the lead going into turn 1 as that outside lane tries to put pressure, but it's going to be a battle for second, 1 and 2. Josh Berry and Jared Fryer for the runner-up spot.
Josh Berry is right there behind Chad McCumbee, but so is Jared Fryer. He's to the outside right now. Maybe a little bit of contact coming through turns 3 and 4 as Berry falls in line behind the 16 of Chad McCumbee, but the Fryer car continues unrelenting on the high side as they race off in turn 2 for the top spot.
The 14 car trying to take the lead, trying to put as much pressure on Chad as he can. Races high on the outside, tries to beat him to the gas. It looks like they might be side by side for the lead going into turn 1.
Great racing on a Saturday night. This track produces side-by-side action we're witnessing right now. We've been side-by-side for much of the night from multiple positions. We were just seeing it for the lead. Right now, the 16 of McCumbee is back clearly in that spot with Fryer right behind him. Josh Berry has the 8 Chevrolet in line in third spot, but they're side-by-side for a fourth. Bobby McCarty versus Connor Hall. Connor Hall has his Toyota on the inside. Bobby McCarty to his right elbow, and they're still side-by-side behind them.
2 Hampton Heat champs battling it out for that 4th position. Give the advantage to Connor Hall coming off a 4. He'll take the 4th position away. And now Justin Johnson looking to the inside of the 22 off of 2.
So I'm definitely not going to count the 77 out of this thing because he knows how this track races. He races here weekly. So now's the time where his knowledge is going to pay off. He knows where the fast line is going to be. He knows where he needs to put his 77 hot rod to get to the front. But it looks like Chad McCumbee definitely got back out front where he was comfortable. So he's got to get right back into his rhythm as Josh Berry gives the number 14 a bit of a touch there as he's letting him know, hey man, I want second place. I'm going to go chase this leader down.
From my vantage point that time through, Brandon, that was more than just a love tap as I saw the rear bumper of Jared Fryer flex with Josh Berry giving him a shot there through the corner.
I think that's Josh's way of saying, hey, it's time to move over. I'm a little bit faster than you. He's ready to pass him. But that's part of the short track racing. That real estate is very prime. Everybody wants to say pin down to the bottom. And sometimes, Brandon, when you're a little bit slower than somebody, you want to protect that line. You want to hold it because you know maybe a caution will come out. But regardless, I want to hold on to that spot.
Oh, absolutely. In short track racing, you want your position, and you're going to do everything you have to fight to keep it or take it away from somebody else. So that's why we saw that little bit of aggression out of the 8 car. And I say it's only a little bit because he didn't move very far. The 14 didn't move very far up the track. You'll know when Josh is aggressive. I've felt it before on the track when we were at Martinsville, so I know how hard he can push.
Watching Brendan Queen on his march back to the front. When we went green on lap 100, he was 17th. This last trip around, he was 13th, and now he's going to work on Matt Waltz over in turns 3 and 4. So Brendan Queen said he was biding his time there.
That's right. Still a lot of time left in this one. 75 laps to go. Got the caution coming out another 25 laps at 150. That's going to be a time you can make adjustments. So a lot can happen here. Factor in the cone. You might see that 0-3 make his way through up the field here after all.
So Brendan Queen is trying to make his march back to the front. Again, he is your defending winner. He is tied for second in the most top 10 finishes of all time in this event with 7 top 10s. So he's still a young driver, but he has lots of Hampton Heat starts. This is his 8th one here in 2021 as we watch Mark Wirtz there in car number 55. Mark Wirtz lost a couple of spots that last lap. He went from 9th to 11th, so Mark Wirtz is not going in the right direction. Back up closer to the head of the field, we see the 4 of Caden Honeycutt in a battle there with Bobby McCarty. And Brandon, I'm thinking Bobby McCarty's handling whatever adjustments they made. They might be going the opposite way than what the 77 car was going.
Yeah, so if I'm Bobby McCarty, I'm telling my team, all right, guys, that adjustment didn't work. At this next break, we're bringing it back down. I don't know. Maybe Bobby didn't put on the tires. Maybe he's just fighting with the old tires that he has, and you know, he might have a run with the last 50 laps. So I don't know what's going on with his crew. I mean, Vaughn, you might have a little more insight than we do.
Yeah, I'm working to find a contact with the Bobby McCarty machine here in a second, so I'll find some intel and bring it back to you guys in just a moment.
I'm almost willing to bet, though, that their team is going to go, I don't know. You know, nobody wants to give away with what they're doing. They don't want everybody else to know, like, hey, they just put on tires. Watch out, he's on the move. Or, you know, maybe they do, just so that other people move out of the way.
And that's something, Brandon, you and I were talking about while they were working down pit road. When do you put the tires on? Because it's a gamesmanship, right? I want to wait and see what everybody else is doing before I make that call, because I know I have 15 minutes to get it done.
Well, at this point in the race, I know that I'm hoping that we didn't put those tires on yet. I want them this next stop. But also at the same time, you're giving up a lot of track position, right? If you go in to take them.
That's right. You will have to go behind the drivers that stay out on the racetrack.
And that's exactly the risk, Brandon, that Bobby McCarty took. They did not take their tires on that lap 100 break. He's not saying anything on the radio right now, so obviously he's just racing with a lot older rubber than a lot of the people on the track.
Brendan Queen up one more spot. He got around Mark Wirtz. He's up to 11th. Mark Wirtz restarted this race inside the top 10 at lap 100. He has been drop kicked back to 12th spot. So Mark Wirtz will also be one of those drivers that may be considering to come back down to the pits to make some adjustments. But back up front, it's Chad McCumbee. He's your leader in that blue and white 16. Right behind him, about 4 car lengths back, is that black number 14 of Jared Fryer. They have run 1-2 most of the night, and maybe Jared Fryer is biding his time, saving his equipment before the final few laps of this event. 16 more trips around until we'll get the third, or the second, I should say, planned yellow flag of the evening. But one thing, Vaughn, that we're getting ready to see is that 16 car is going to catch some lap traffic.
Yeah, but he is just so smooth right now. He's got pressure from the 14 of Jared Fryer, and obviously Josh Berry right behind him running in third. Those three, obviously the class of the field all night long. But it's interesting to see that they're not really challenging each other right now for the spots. It looks like they're just trying to race to lap 150.
And we're getting ever so close to that mark, 135, and make that 136 now as your leaders have just crossed the start-finish line. Difference between first and second, it's stabilized at about 0.5 of a second here at the moment. It is all Chad McCumbee here at the moment, but we're watching, Brandon, some great racing really all over this racetrack. It's really hard to keep up with. Great battles.
Oh, I'm sure if they had a camera on the back of my head, I look like a bobblehead as I'm looking a little bit everywhere. Oh, there's side by side. Oh, there's side by side. Oh my God, they're hitting each other. It's just so much fun to watch. There's something happening everywhere in this field. I mean, if you didn't know what the running order was, I bet that you couldn't pick out who the leader was with how hard these guys are racing each other. I guess until you see the speed of the 16, the 14, and the 8, as they're really putting on a clinic, but also something to think about. The 16 is putting down some heaters to get by these lap guys. He's trying to stay ahead of the 14. He's doing everything he can. Is he pushing too hard? I mean, is he going to keep enough tire under it for these last 50 laps, especially when a car as good and strong as Bobby McCarty's goes down and takes his 2 feel-goods?
Absolutely, because we know you can lead 199 laps, but it won't matter until you cross that line at lap 200. That's the lap we're going to talk about. So very good point from Brandon Brown, who's up here in the tower, NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, standout here in 2021. Puts the microphone on tonight, joins us here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. If you're just tuning in on NBC Sports Gold Track Pass, this is an exciting race here in Hampton, Virginia, in which we're watching second, third, fourth place drivers right now. Justin Johnson, that's something we've not talked about a whole lot, is Justin Johnson. He's putting pressure now on Josh Berry for that third spot.
Yeah, and Justin Johnson, somebody who actually ran second during the Cars Tour race here just last month. So he's used to running up front at Langley, and he's definitely showing a lot of speed right now, challenging Josh Berry for that third spot.
He's from Roxborough, North Carolina, drives that Chevrolet, finished third up at South Boston Speedway on the Independence Day weekend celebration for that race. This is his second Hampton Heat, as he has now gotten around Josh Berry. So moved Josh Berry back to fourth, and Justin Johnson, the Virginia State late model past champion, he is right now in third spot, and he's going to try to run down Jared Fryer. So that could have been one of those sleepers there, Brandon, that we really hadn't talked a lot about tonight.
Oh, he definitely stayed quiet this whole race, and now he's starting to turn the wick up a little bit. He's got 5 more laps when he comes up to the line to make sure that everything is right where he wants it. And looking at his speed and how he's handling, I'm thinking he feels pretty comfortable. And hey, if those two guys in front of me go to take tires, that's fine. I'll go check out from you and hope you can catch back up.
That's right, because you're not going to have a 50-lap dash to the checkers. And we know a lot of times, and especially here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, those last 50 laps can get pretty exciting. And we know one caution typically breeds more caution. So we'll watch that as the night progresses. 4 more laps until we get that next yellow flag. The car number 16 of Chad McCumbee is closing in to multiple drivers here this evening as we get set to see the yellow flag coming out in about 3 laps as we're watching a battle develop now for second spot. Jared Fryer on the high side to his left elbow. That is Justin Johnson in the 44 car. He passed the 8 of Josh Berry a few laps ago. Now he wants to take second spot. They're still side by side now as they race back to turns 1 and 2. Brandon, this is a great race.
I know, and if I'm Chad McCumbee, I'm like, yes, keep wearing each other out, boys. I'm ready to check out from you guys. So keep on doing that. I mean, but the 44, I mean, he's really got the wick turned up. So he's letting everybody in that garage know, hey, I've got the speed, I've got the car that can go out and win this race. So, I mean, also that's got to be on the 16's mind. Hey, that 44 is coming. He's making easy work of these guys behind you. So if he comes up to you, be ready. You're going to get a miracle.
And looking at the Jared Fryer car, you got to wonder, his car is tightening up. He's not able to cut it down and keep it pinned down to the bottom of the racetrack. So when he goes in those turns, that car washes up the racetrack, opens the door there for Justin Johnson to go in and make that pass, or at least an attempt to make that pass. 150 laps has been completed. The yellow flag has been unfurled. This is our 4th one here this evening, our 2nd planned one at lap number 150, in which Chad McCumbee is still in command of this race. He's the race leader. And now is where all the marbles are going to be thrown out and where it's going to really count. This is the final planned one. And now more strategy call here, Brandon.
Absolutely. If you didn't take your 2 tires before, you're definitely taking them now. That's a driver's best friend is new tires. It'll make you feel like a hero. So, I mean, hats off to the 16, Chad McCumbee. I mean, as I guess you said he was an actor. He's been playing the lead role this whole race. But no, it's been awesome to watch him, you know, really check out and kind of set pace out here. So hats off to that team and how they brought such a great car. But I think the 14's got a little left in the tank. You know, I mean, he looks like he moved up a groove, and I mean, his car worked. He was able to keep the 44 tucked in behind him. And hey, I mean, if he's wearing the 44 out on the bottom, making him really work his tires, then that's going to make his job a lot easier later in the run.
Absolutely. Something that we'll continue to watch here over these next few laps. The red flag is out at the end of pit road, indicating pit lane is not open. So we'll continue to watch that. Our pit steward will let everybody know when they can come down if they so choose to. Now, this stoppage actually is not a stoppage. This is a yellow flag, period. So these cars will continue to circle this racetrack. Laps are not counting under this yellow flag. However, when they decide, or if they decide to come back down pit lane, they can choose to do so. They will not lose positions in the pits. However, those who stay out will overtake those cars who do pit. So that is something to keep in the back of your mind. So if you want to come down and make some adjustments, it's certainly up to you. You can do that. But if somebody elects to stay out, they can inherit a lot of positions. So I'm sure we're going to see some of that strategy play out, Vaughn. And we know some takers or some drivers have taken tires. And now it'll be interesting to see who decides to take tires this go around. So Vaughn Crittenden down there on pit lane for us as we get set to see what happens. The red flag is still out there on pit lane, meaning stay on the racetrack here at the moment, as Chad McCumbee has just dominated this event up to this point. But we're not done. We're only 3/4 of the way done. We still have this last quarter to go, and anything can happen, and typically does happen. How many times have you seen a race where one driver just goes out and just dominates the event, but we have a different winner by the checkered flag?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, it doesn't matter what level of racing that you're at, whether you're racing hot cars on your floor in your bedroom, or you're racing late model here at Langley Speedway. So now is the time where you're assessing risk versus reward. I'm saying, you know, if I have tires laying down there, in my mind, I'm like, oh, absolutely, risk it for the biscuit. Let's go get it. I'm sure these guys, I mean, but the one thing is you saw how hard everybody was racing back, 10th place on back. They were door to door. So, okay, if I'm not used to running in that back area, it's going to be a big change of scenery, a big change in how people are driving each other, driving styles. So, you know, risk versus reward. If I don't have tires, but my car's not handling like I want it to, do I stay out and hope that some people get into each other, you know, these last 50 laps? Are we going to produce a lot of cautions, or is it going to be a long green flag run? But either way, I think it's a really easy call if you got 2 tires laying down there that you're coming down to get them.
We're going to find out what happens here, because we're hearing that pit lane is going to open this time, and indeed the green flag has been displayed, meaning these drivers can come down, and the leaders are coming down pit lane. So right now it's Chad McCumbee, Jared Fryer, and the rest of at least the top 4, top 5 are all coming down pit lane. I don't see anybody electing to stay out, at least at the moment. We're continuing to watch so far, as you see on the screen, and those race fans sitting in the grandstands are watching. Every driver seems to be coming down into the pit area. I do see one driver that will stay out, potentially. We'll see if that car is on the lead lap. That is the 12 of Nick Smith, and Nick is on the lead lap, so it looks like he may inherit or will inherit the race lead. So again, nobody else quite yet has decided, other than the 12 car, to stay out on the racetrack. Everybody else is electing to come down, and so Brandon, if you're the 12, do you think, hey, I've just made the greatest move ever, or are you a little bit worried that I'm the only one still out on the racetrack?
If I'm the 12, I hope that my team put my blocking bumper on, because I'm going to have to run this thing wide. You've had cars that have just put on a clinic for speed, and you know, they're going to find their way around, especially if you're giving them some, you know, 2 new tires. They're just going to get that much. They're going to get that much faster. But hey, I applaud the strategy. If you haven't been up front where you wanted to be, then this is the way to get there. I mean, the easiest way to pass everybody is make them stop on pit road and let you by.
That's right. That's right. And we're being told it's at least 6 laps that this pace truck is going to circle the racetrack, meaning they have 6 laps under yellow to make these adjustments, change the tires. We may add a lap or 2 depending on the timing, but nevertheless, that is the plan. Let's go trackside to the pit lane.
That's right, Brandon Pierce. I see him changing 2 tires. Connor Hall also changing 2 tires as well. Wedge adjustment in the back of the car. Looks like the 25 of Craig Estep also changing 2 tires. I see, looks like the a 77 Blake Stallings also changing 2 tires. So a lot of crews down here who saved up for lap 150 are now putting on those last 2 tires that they have. Again, other adjustments happen right now. Josh Berry, they're working on some adjustments on his car. He's inside, staying in the hood up on that machine as they make some front-end adjustments. Also, Jared Fryer doing some air pressure adjustments to the right side of the car. They're retorquing the lug nuts on the right front right now. Nick Smith also putting on fresh rubber. And Thomas Scott also making some air pressure adjustments. As you see, Timothy Peters already rejoined the field. Not sure if he came down pit road or not there, Brian.
Actually, we called that as Nick Smith. We have 2 12s in the field. That's actually Timothy Peters that elected to stay out on the racetrack. So he was the one driver who did not come down pit lane and decided to stay out on the racetrack. Of course, solid results here in his Hampton Heat finishes. And right now, he will rejoin as the race leader when we do get the green flag, because he did not come back down pit lane. Race control is telling all of the pit members to get ready. We're going to be pulling these cars back out on the racetrack, and they're going to rejoin the 12 of Timothy Peters, who's going to inherit the race lead. And interesting to see how this is going to play out here when we go back under the green flag here with 50 laps remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Timothy Peters is a veteran of NASCAR, running at the highest series and running in the truck series. He's running at the local series. He knows what to do and how to get it done. So I'm really interested to see, you know, how much did the 12 car save in that run if he already put his tires on and decided that's how he wanted to inherit the race lead. So one thing he's definitely doing is giving Solid Rock Carriers a good showing, putting them out front in his number 12 machine. So, I mean, man, I hope Tim, buddy, block, hey, run away, and do whatever you got to do. Stay out front, buddy. I'm pulling for you. Come on.
And what did he have to lose? Because he was the last car on the lead lap. So he just decided, hey, I stay out, I go to the front of the field.
All about that Triple Crown, Brian. He's not only racing to try and get the win out here tonight, but that best average finish over South Boston, Langley, and Martinsville pays $7,000. So that could have played also a big part in his decision.
And we realize that we still have the last quarter of this race to go. And right now it looks like Timothy Peters will become the race leader over Chad McCumbee. He'll restart on his high side when we go back under the green flag. Again, 150 laps complete, 50 remain.
So one thing I'm excited to see now is our leader, or well, who was our leader, Chad McCumbee. I was too used to saying that. All right, Chad, I'm glad to see that you're on the outside, man, because I want to see what you do. You know, he's been used to controlling these restarts and starting on the inside and getting a little bit of a jump, and you know, he kind of knew what was going on, but now he doesn't get to decide that pace. What he has to do is figure out a way around the 12 car who's going to be sitting to his inside and you know, that trying to assume the race lead where he was used to seeing a clear windshield before you catch the lap traffic, but now he's got a little somebody in front of him.
That's right. That's one thing he's not seen all night long. From the pole position up to now, Chad McCumbee had led the entire race. He'll have to restart at least second when we go back under the green flag. And we're going to wait for timing and scoring to put everybody back in their correct order. So it'll be just a few more moments. Shouldn't take long before that is reset, because remember, they did not lose any positions if they decided to pit. The only thing you gain is if you stay out of the racetrack and go towards the head of the field. And that is what Timothy Peters has done here this evening. Timothy Peters, in his 5th Hampton Heat start, will lead us back to the green flag here in just a few moments. Great racing each and every Saturday night here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. If you're tuning in to NBC Sports Gold Track Pass, tune us in each and every Saturday night. Or if you're somewhat in the area, come out and join us. We race all summer long, race all the way through until October. See our full schedule online at langley-speedway.com. Hey, it all comes down to Martinsville, the weekend that decides the championship for Sunday, October the 31st, the Xfinity 500 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs race. Saturday, October 30th is a doubleheader when you get to see 2 races for 1 ticket with the NASCAR Xfinity and Truck Series playoff races. Visit martinsvillespeedway.com to purchase your tickets. Also, the Cup Series is racing at Richmond Raceway. The NASCAR Cup Series playoffs return to America's premier short track on September 11th under the lights. Tickets start at $35. Kids 12 and under start at $10. Visit www.richmondraceway.com to purchase your tickets today. We also want to thank our friends over at CarMasters who support the CarMasters Choose Zone, and we'll see that coming out here in just a bit. Thank you to Performance Food Service of Virginia. They're a Virginia-based company servicing over 3,000 local food establishments right here in Virginia and northeastern North Carolina since 1875. Lights are still on the pace truck. We're going to be a few more laps before we turn the field loose as race control talking with the spotters to get these drivers back into position. But one thing that we do see is we see a new leader. A black number 12 car is behind the pace truck. That's something we haven't seen all night long. But I do think, Brandon, these last 50 laps are going to play out a lot differently than what we've seen in the first 150 laps.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd safely agree with that when I say, you know, before, you know, keep all 4 corners on the car. Let's keep the hood down. Let you see over it. You know, let's keep the nose cone on it. Now you have 50 laps to go to get to the checkered flag in the Hampton Heat. If I'm on the crew, I'm the spotter. Hey man, do whatever you got to do. Let's get to the front. And you're not going to make many friends that way. But hey, you didn't come to the racetrack to make friends, did you? You leave your friends at home. You let them log in to NASCAR Track Pass to watch you go out here and beat and bang your way to the victory here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. So I'm really excited to see what the 16 does, see how the choose cone effect is going to go, and you know, let's see what's going to happen to the pace of this race.
And what about the Justin Johnson car? We watched that car come to life. That driver was really coming up through the field, was able to pass Josh Berry, was starting to put the pressure on Jared Fryer. I think that's somebody to keep our eyes on too, because sometimes you can over-adjust in your race car. So maybe they made the right adjustments as we're getting set to go back under the green flag here. It looks like a couple of more laps here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Looks like the car's lining back up in double fashion when we get set to go back at it. Again, it's going to be a new race leader. He was 19th before the yellow flag came out. We're talking about Timothy Peters, the last car on the lead lap. He chose not to come down pit lane, stayed on the racetrack. He does not have fresh rubber on that race car. No adjustments were made because he circled the track the entire time behind the pace truck, and he'll restart as our race leader. Beside him will be the guy that's dominated the entire evening. He's never gotten too far away from the leaders. We're talking about Chad McCumbee when we get set to go back racing.
Man, if the 44 was able to turn up the wick like that, without putting on tires, and now he just put them on. I'm really excited to see what that car does. There's so many things going on in this race. You know, this whole track has been active the entire time. This is going to be such an exciting restart. I'm excited to see what happens. New leader, very experienced leader. We've got the 14 on fresh tires sitting on the inside of who used to be the leader, of who he struggled to get around. So this might be just the ticket that he needed, or maybe the 44 brings it alive.
50 laps remain. Lights are off the pace truck. New leader, Timothy Peters. Beside him is Chad McCumbee. Who's going to win the Hampton Heat 200? We're getting ready to settle it here tonight. Von Crittenden, take us back to the green.
That's right, green flag in the air, 50 laps to go. Timothy Peters takes the lead into turn 1. Here you go, Jared Fryer, Chad McCumbee race side by side, a little bit of contact. Further back, the 44, Justin Johnson, is just plummeting through the field on that restart.
Big-time problems for Justin Johnson, who restarted up near the head of the field. Something went amiss on that race car. He has fallen all the way back to 10th position. Took it 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. They're still beating and banging. Brendan Queen's loose off of turn 2.
All that work that Justin Johnson had done to get back up to the front of the field. You see Brendan Queen really might have an actual problem as he continues to fall back to the field. Car splitting him down the front straightaway. That 03 might be in some real trouble.
Battle for the top spot. Here comes Chad McCumbee to the inside of Timothy Peters through turns 3 and 4. They leaned on one another coming through turn 4. That last time, Chad McCumbee was credited with leading the lap by inches. But here comes Timothy Peters. He's fighting and clawing back on the high side, but he may not have enough, and they go back to 3.
Timothy Peters falls back into the second position right in front of Jared Fryer. And now in the tire tracks of that 16 car, Chad McCumbee, as you see Josh Berry now putting the pressure on the 14.
Josh Berry's going to work for P3 right now. That driver just ahead of him is Jared Fryer. He and Jared Fryer have fought all night long. We're talking about Josh Berry. They have patiently raced each other, but now the patience will begin to run dry as we're in the final 45 laps of competition. Josh Berry now decides to go topside off of turn 2. He couldn't make it work on the bottom. He's going to go right beside the Jared Fryer car in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, and I think that 77 of Connor Hall is going to creep right up into that spot, but it looks like Josh, he's still going to try and make that work on the high side, Brandon. I'm not sure if that's a good move at this point.
I mean, hey, wherever you got to go to make it work, you got to go. I mean, it looks like the 12 car is using up a lot of track, too, so Josh Berry's got his work cut out for him. But we talk about patience running dry. I think it is dry. I think that we're in the last 50 laps of this race. It's go time. And you see, holy cow, as he moves Peter out of the way.
Wow, they were 3 wide coming off of turn number 2. Timothy Peters was drop kicked back to 7th spot, and he's still free falling through the top 5. Chad McCumbee has checked out over Jared Fryer, but Jared Fryer has his hands full as right behind him it's a hornet's nest, the 77 of Connor Hall, duking it out right now with Josh Berry as they race back to 3.
Yeah, that 77 machine of Connor Hall is just awoken at this point. Now he's bound for the second position. Looks to the inside of the 14. Josh Berry right behind him in the tire tracks, but it's going to be a battle for second down the back straightaway.
One thing we have not talked about as they continue to battle it out, last year's winner, Brendan Queen, is in the pits. His night likely over early here at lap number 160. Brendan Queen has to be heartbroken. They're still running 3 wide. Something's wrong with Chad McCumbee. He's off the pace off of turn 2.
Chad McCumbee pulls down the pit road. He is way off the pace as he goes on the ape of the track. The dominant leader in this one is coming down pit road.
And that's what I was talking about. This is a long race with late models. This is a hard track. The attrition goes on the driver and the equipment. So something like this happening isn't a surprise, but I do hate that for Chad as he put on such a clinic tonight. So we got a new race leader though. Look at that.
Connor Hall is at the head of the field. He and Josh Berry are going out in turn 2. Berry with the Junior Motorsports car number 8 is at the point now. Josh Berry, new race leader, as they have a lap car just ahead of them as they race off at turn 4.
They go around that lap machine of Ryan Huff. He goes high to the outside. Josh Berry, your new leader, real quick down on pit road. Inside the Brendan Queen machine, they are playing with the ignition box. Something must be amiss with that. As we also look here at the 16 car, Chad McCumbee, the dominant machine all night long. Right now, it looks like they might be checking the spark plugs in this machine as they use cell phone flashlights, trying to figure out what went wrong with this 16 Ford.
Two cars side by side on the speedway for third spot. It is car number 4 right now on the speedway. That's Caden Honeycutt. He's joined alongside Jared Fryer. Now, Fryer's car does not seem to be at the pace it was running earlier. He seems to be losing a little bit of ground now as Caden Honeycutt is trying to make that pass, because right now Josh Berry is at the head of the field. He's leading here at lap number 166. How about that? We just talked about before this last caution flag, Brandon, that just because you lead the opening 150 laps or so doesn't mean you're going to win it. And look at what happens here.
Yeah, it's just something that if you're in the 16 car, that ruins the night. It doesn't matter how dominant I was earlier in the race. When I go home, I'm going home with a busted race car and no trophy. So, God, that's just such a bummer. But it's just what the doctor ordered for the 8 car. That's what I'm sure Josh Berry was not frowning when he saw the 16 have to pull it in. And when you assume the lead, that's always a great time.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., if he's watching, has to have a wide smile on his face as he sees his race car at the head of the field right now. The driver that won at Martinsville Speedway earlier this year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series right now is leading here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway in his very first Hampton Heat 200.
Well, Josh definitely knows what he's doing on these short track racing, the flat tracks. I mean, Martinsville, very similar with the corners. Not a lot of banking to him, so he's really navigating his 8 car around. But now he's definitely got to focus in on being smart, keep the tires under it. I got 30 laps to go. The 77's fast. I'm not pulling away from him as fast as I want to, but I mean, hey, maybe I'm keeping a little bit of reserve because this isn't over. I mean, these guys are all racing door to door, using their bumpers. It doesn't matter what position you're in, so it's pretty safe to assume there's probably going to be a caution that comes out sometime.
Hey, real quick, guys, I'm down here on pit road with your pole sitter, your halfway leader, and someone who led just about all this race, Chad McCummey. Chad, what happened there?
I knew something driveline wise. I felt everything tighten up. I didn't have much power.
1, 2. All right, let's try it one more time there.
How much of that did you get? Somewhat of it. So yeah, I felt something kind of bogged it down going into 3. When I went to power off of 4, just wouldn't go. Then I went into 1 and it started like something driveline was locking up on the rear end motor, transmission, something. But man, that is a heartbreaker. We were good.
All right, guys, well, that's Chad McCummey. Heartbreak ending for him after dominating so much of this race.
Man, you hate to be taken out by a mechanical failure, especially after such a dominating performance. So, I mean, hats off to Chad for keeping your composure. I mean, I'm sure I'd want to jump around, yell and scream, throw things around, punch the car, do something. But no, I mean, definitely hate that for him to end his night, but we definitely see that he's going to be a threat next year at the Hampton Heat.
Absolutely. Right now, 24 laps remain here in the Hampton Heat 200, and what a success story that we're seeing on the racetrack. That is Josh Berry in car number 8, the junior motorsports driver. He has just done incredible things. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has helped support him over the last few years. He's cut his teeth in this late model touring series, or in late model racing, we should say, and became the 2020 NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series champion this past year. Had the opportunity this year, because of that, to go to work for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and race for his Xfinity Series team. So they moved him up from late models to Xfinity Series racing, and then he goes out and wins at Martinsville. Has solid runs throughout the 2021 season, and right now is certainly having a great run. Just 30 years of age. He is leading this race with 21 laps to go. And one thing, Brandon, that we're getting ready to see is the car spins right in front of Josh Berry. Josh Berry barely avoids hitting him. What a wow of an event there at the racetrack. I'm losing my words up here in the tower.
I told you that there was going to be a caution. I told you these guys were racing hard. I knew that there was no way this race goes green the entire way. But, man, oh, good God. Give me a new race suit if I'm Josh Berry. That car spun out right in front of me, and then I got packed in the rear by somebody else. So, woo!
Wow.
Thank God I missed that one. I want to keep this race lead, but, hey, this puts the 77 right back on top of Josh. Connor Hall, no stranger to Langley Speedway, so, you know, what's going to happen now? Elbows up.
Absolutely, and that was a wild one. We were just talking about the success story of Josh Berry in car number 8, and we had a lapped car that went around right in front of Josh Berry. He had to take evasive action to avoid hitting that car, moved up the racetrack, and narrowly somehow missed it. And by our vantage point, I think he did clip on the back quarter panel of that race car, Brandon.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think that came from the 25 car as we see him down on pit road.
It did, Brandon. I just looked at the replay on track pass, and the 25 did not whoa up as quick as Josh Berry did. The 25 nailed the rear end of that 8 machine. So you got to wonder if that maybe did something to Josh Berry. So that's going to be something to watch. But right now, Craig Estep down here on pit road. The crew trying to pull the bumper off the radiator and get this thing ready to roll. Craig Estep with a pretty good run himself so far tonight. They want to keep their run going and get this car fixed and back out there.
Eflin, North Carolina's Thomas Scott in his 4th Hampton Heat, who races full-time at South Boston Speedway. He works full-time as a production manager in a collision center, that is, spun right ahead of the race leaders. You see him sitting there on the racetrack. Race officials are going to try to get that car pulled back into the pit area or pushed, see if they can get that car refired as he's facing the wrong direction in turn number 2. As he spun ahead of race leader Josh Berry, Berry quickly slammed on the binders, went up the racetrack to avoid hitting the Thomas Scott car, but unfortunately the driver right behind race leader Josh Berry was the 25. That is Norfolk's Craig Estep. Estep couldn't whoa it down quick enough, got into the back of the 8 car of Josh Berry, and unfortunately Josh Berry does have some minor damage. So if you're Josh Berry there, Brandon, what concerns do you have at this point? Maybe a tire rub potentially, but it looks like it was pulled back maybe. So what's going through your mind as a driver?
If I'm Josh, I'm just thinking, I think the guy tagged me pretty good in the rear, but yeah, I'm only hoping that the body's not touching the tire, so I'm yelling at my spotter, hey, check that thing out for me, check the right rear, make sure I'm not rubbing, and it looks like he's got plenty of clearance on his All Things Automotive number 8 iRacing Chevy, so I think he's like, whew, I hope those guys in the booth stop talking about my success. I think they're jinxing me. No, I'm just kidding. But he is definitely like, all right, well, that was a close one, but time to buckle back down. We still have a lot of racing left if we're going to have cautions like this. But one that I'm looking at is Caden Honeycutt. He's back up in the mix. He was pretty quiet earlier in the race, but now he's sitting 3rd. And, they brought the leaders to him. They brought the whole front of the field to him. So now maybe he's got a chance to get on Josh's bumper and maybe give him a nudge or two and see if he can see some daylight in the lead.
Hey, are you a superstitious guy at all?
I'm a little stitious.
All right, so stitious, I like that. So what car is Josh Berry? What's his number that he's in?
Oh, the 8 car?
8 car, right?
Yeah.
So Jack Dodson helped me understand that 3 support races earlier today. Guess what? All 3 drove the same number, car number 8. All 3 of them that went on to Dale Lemon's victory lane. So we'll see if that plays into this one, because so far, Vaughn, 3 winners in the 8 car tonight. Could we have a 4th winner in an 8 car?
I had not picked up on that. That is absolutely wild that we've had 8 cars win all night long. But, I mean, we're going to have about 14 laps to go in this one. And, man, Connor Hall, this is exactly what he wanted to be able to get on the outside here. That's like you said, Brandon, you got Caden Honeycutt, Jared Fryer, who's been up front all day. And look at this. Greg Edwards has come all the way up to the field to find himself in the 5th position on this restart. So he could be in a prime position, too, if these guys up ahead of him get a little too racy.
So does Dale Lemons have like an 8 to the front button here? Remember those old Buffalo Wild Wing commercial where they hit the overtime button? Well, maybe he's got an 8 to victory lane button. I mean, if you're looking at that stat, but I mean, now, okay, I'm Josh Berry. I need to hit my gears. I need to take the green flag. I need to get a little bit of a jump. I'm on the inside. I'm controlling the pace.
So it's Josh Berry, Connor Hall on road number 1. 15 trips around this racetrack as the green flag comes out. Josh Berry has an excellent start, leads the parade. Back to turns 1 and 2. The battle's on for 2nd.
Josh Berry really rode up on the start of that one. That was really interesting to watch the gamesmanship in that restart box as he jumped to a huge lead. His car basically backed off the throttle in order to avoid the penalty, and that leaves Caden Honeycutt now battling for that 2nd position.
What a veteran move by Josh Berry. I mean, you see that all the time in the upper series of racing, in the Xfinity series a lot, where you'll see drivers kind of hold back a little bit on the start and take a jump. And I think he tricked the 77 to Connor Hall, who's just a little bit excited to get into the gas. And that's what this race brings. It's so exciting. You want to get to the lead, and we saw the 77 do that, as now he's getting some pressure for 2nd place.
That's right. The driver you were talking about, Caden Honeycutt, is ready to get there. He's on the outside of Connor Hall. We do see some beating and banging taking place for that second spot. They're side by side for them for fourth. More contact is made from Greg Edwards to the back of the four of Caden Honeycutt as they go back to turns 3 and 4. They're still banging on one another off the 4.
Greg Edwards is alive right now. He goes to the inside of Caden Honeycutt. That'll be the battle for the third position as he's going to try and take it away off of turn 2 and chase after Connor Hall.
10 laps remain for the Hampton Heat 200. This is where it counts. Race car drivers know they need to be near the front of the field if they want to win this one. Right now, Greg Edwards, the veteran racer, he's looking for that first Hampton Heat 200 victory. He's got himself up to third. He's went around Caden Honeycutt, who now tries the crossover move down the backstretch in turns 3 and 4.
They'll race side by side through turn 4 down the front straightaway. Caden Honeycutt with the advantage that time by. As we look just a little bit further on the pack, Connor Hall trying to chase down that 8 machine of Josh Berry, but he's running out of time.
Josh Berry has checked out to more than 1 second. That's the advantage he has over Connor Hall, who right now rides in second spot. And look, we see Brandon more contact between Greg Edwards and Caden Honeycutt.
Oh, I knew this was going to happen. I mean, the laps are winding down. Josh Berry is like, boys, keep fighting, but hey, let's keep it clean. Let's keep these green flag laps going. I like this lead that I have. So don't bunch those guys back up on me, but man, is it so fun to watch as a fan as we see Greg Edwards in the
big wreck. Nick Smith, Justin Johnson turn around off of turn 4. They both have damage. And it looks like Justin Johnson is going to leave it part. No, he's going to pull away. But he's got a lot of front-end damage after heavy contact off of turn 4. We got less than 5 laps to go when caution laps count. This is going to be probably a green-white checker to finish it all.
Wow, what a major wreck that took place over in turns 3 and 4. By the time we looked over there, lots of smoke had already come up. Hard to tell exactly what took place, but what a major wreck here near the latter stages of the race in which you see that car on pit lane. Nick Smith was involved in that one, has damage to the left side of his car up here in the tower. Brandon was pointing out that the 44 car also involved in that one. One of those drivers we were watching earlier this evening with such a strong run here tonight. Justin Johnson has problems here near the latter stages of this race. So right now, car number 12 is in the pits.
That's right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brandon.
Oh, I was just saying, it looked like the 44 came alive earlier before the break, and maybe he just brought it alive too soon because on that restart we saw him just fall back. So it's a real bummer because you see what happens when you fall back there. I mean, it's tight racing back there. That told you everything that's going on back there. It looks like they're racing for the lead. But you know, I mean, it's getting rough, and it took the 44 out of contention. It looks like it took the 12 out as well, so I think you got a little better view than we do.
Yeah, Nick Smith pulls it down into pit road. He's going to probably call it a night. The team's still looking it over just a little bit. Looks like they're pulling the hood pins and checking that thing over, but there's probably too much damage for a quick Nick Smith to continue his run tonight as we see him climb out the race car.
Nick Smith, the veteran racer, he won the inaugural Hampton Heat 200 back in 2008. And just has so many good stats here for this race, but not tonight. It will not be, as his night is over with here at lap number 197.
So now if I'm the 77 and I saw what Josh did to me on that first restart, I'm thinking all about that. I don't want him to do that again. So let's see if Connor can read Josh's playbook a little bit and know what's going to happen when we go back green. But yeah, that's a bummer for Nick. A lot of damage, it looks like, on that left front. So I'd imagine that his night is done. And if you're getting the free pass, it's cool, but I think it's just a little bit too late. We're getting ready to do some green-white checkered racing. So this is some of the most exciting times as we see a lot of fans are standing, as we get ready to go back green.
Talk about a 200-lap race, and it's going to come down to a 2-lap dash to the checkers to determine who wins the Hampton Heat 200. Will it be junior motorsports driver Josh Berry in the 8? What about the local driver, Connor Hall, in car number 77? Don't count out Caden Honeycutt in car number 4 as he makes his first Hampton Heat start like Josh Berry does. And what about the veteran racer Greg Edwards? So many championships, 6 to be exact, and he would love to park that car down in Dale Emmons Victory Lane and ready to park it there, but we'll see if he's able to do so here tonight in that car number 21 from Poquoson, Virginia. and has got great stats for this event as well. He has the most all-time top 5s in this event among active drivers with 5 top 5 finishes.
And guys, with the way we're clocking laps away, we are going to overtime.
NASCAR overtime, baby, at Langley Speedway in the Hampton Heat. What a way to end an event. I mean, this is huge. You're getting a big trophy. It's a Triple Crown race here in Virginia. And by the way, you only get 2 laps to do it. So, hey, if I'm in the 8 car, I'm like, man, Connor, be really easy on my rear bumper on this restart. I don't want to spin my tires, but at the same time, I need to launch. And it looks like Honeycutt's going to try and take it on the top side. So now he's got to read Josh's playbook. I mean, Connor was like, you know what? Maybe I don't know what he's going to do, so I'm going to take it. Can't beat him, join him, go with him, and then try and get him in the next lap.
That's right, 2 laps to settle it. The lights have gone off the pace truck. Who will become the 2021 Hampton Heat 200 champion? Caden Honeycutt versus Josh Berry on row 1. Connor Hall and Greg Edwards on row number 2. Is this the last yellow flag we've seen? There's lots of questions we have, very few answers, but we're going to have them here in just a bit. It's been an exciting evening thus far here in Hampton, Virginia, but now is where it all counts to see who picks up the Hampton Heat 200. Josh Berry has run strong here in these last few laps after the unfortunate incident with Chad McCumbee after he had to come to the pits because of an engine issue. Pace truck is going to hit pit lane. Green, white, checkered finish to determine who gets it done here tonight. Green flag is unfurled. 2 more laps of racing. Once more, Josh Berry has a great start. Looking to make it 3 wide going into turns 1 and 2.
Taking a similar move. Oh, as there's contact back and forth all through the field. They stack up down the back straightaway. Connor Hall to the second, but it's going to be Josh Berry looking for the white flag off of 4.
2 and 3 wide, 2 cars. 1 car getting out of shape a little further in the back of the pack. That is the 2 machine, but right now, white flag is in the air. The final time around, Josh Berry leads the field as they go back to 3 and 4.
Your Martinsville Xfinity Series winner rollers off turn 4. In his first start in the Hampton Heat, he will come off the corner and win. The 13th annual Hampton Heat has contact and chaos follows right behind him across the finish line.
How about it? Josh Berry gets it done and wins the 2021 Hampton Heat 200 at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway after several cars crash here in the closing lap, including 1 spinner. That is the 64 car. Rick Godovic has problems over in turn number 4, is facing the wrong direction. But tonight's race winner, it is Josh Berry, has done it. He has won in his first Hampton Heat start. It is his race here tonight. That driver who races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Brandon, one of your colleagues on the racetrack, comes out tonight and gets it done here on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's so awesome for him, and congratulations to Josh and Dale and everybody in Junior Motorsports and Kelly, and taking a win here at the Hampton Heat, a Virginia Triple Crown race. So, you know, that's going to be a big one up on the trophy case. That's a huge, huge one that's going on the top shelf. So congratulations, Josh, and your whole team for pulling it off. It looks like he's getting ready to do some celebrating now.
That's right. Josh Berry stops there in turn number 2, turns the car around. Looks like he's going to do the Polish victory lap, and he's going to go over and celebrate there along the fence here with all the fans who have showed up here in Hampton, Virginia. A tremendous crowd as they applaud and they stand and they cheer for this driver who has done it here tonight. He started this race in 3rd spot, fell back a little bit inside the top 10, but he was able to muster his way back towards the front of the field and took command of the race in the later stages of the event and never looked back to determine if he could do it, and indeed he did. He is tonight's Hampton Heat 200 winner. The trophy will show his name. It'll be etched in there for 2021. Josh Berry is tonight's race winner, and it certainly has to be a good feeling, Brandon, as he circles this racetrack.
Oh my God, there's no feeling like victory. It's been a while for me, but you know, I can remember the last time I was in victory lane. I mean, it's just such a relief. All your hard work. I mean, days here prepping, getting ready, practicing, making sure that this car is perfect so that you could take advantage of that very moment, that green, white, checkered. That's what you dream about. That's that moment. It's my time to shine, and Josh Berry pulled it off. So, again, awesome for him, pulling into victory lane, going to get the checkered flag, going to get the trophy, get the mic. You know, it's just an awesome feeling. So congratulations to him, his sponsors, iRacing, and all things automotive. So congratulations, Josh, Dale, everybody.
Absolutely. Josh Berry has stopped here on the front stretch. We're putting victory lane together. Jack Dodson up here in the booth reminding us now that we've had 4 drivers, as Jack mentioned, have won with the number 8 here tonight. So if you drove the 8 car, your shot at winning was pretty good, because every race we've had tonight, the winner came from an 8 car.
Well, I think if I come back here and I run a late model race, I'm not running the 68 car. I'm taking the 6 off. I'm taking the 6 off. I'm going to put a big old X through it. I think that's just going to take me to victory lane, maybe. I don't know, but that's awesome.
Let's talk about what took place for Josh Berry in those closing laps. Remember, he almost got involved in an incident when the 8 car of Thomas Scott, another 8 car, went around in turn number 2. He had to do some quick driving there to avoid hitting that car.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I hope he's not wearing a white fire suit, because we'll see how scared he got when that car spun out in front of him. But no, that's, that's one of those things where it does not matter if you're leading or not. When it's late in one of these races, you have to be on your toes the entire time, because something's going to happen, and it might happen around you. I told you at the beginning of the race, hey, the best place to be is the lead, because usually people wreck behind you. But hey, even when you're in the lead, people wreck in front of you.
And that's exactly what happened. Josh Berry took some evasive action, went to the high side of the spinning Thomas Scott, but then unfortunately the car behind him, the 25 of Craig Estep, could not get on the binders quick enough to avoid hitting him. But nevertheless, Berry was able to continue, did not need to pit, and we see him down in Dale Lemon's victory lane. The window net has come down. He is getting ready to emerge from that race car. One happy driver as he has done it here tonight. Let's go trackside to Dale Lemon's victory lane with Vaughn Crittenden.
And that's right, I'm down here with Josh Berry. He's in Dale Lemon's victory lane, and he can come out now. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner for the 13th Hampton Heat, Josh Berry. There goes celebration, all bunch of water in the air. That's got to feel good for Josh Berry. Josh, obviously this is a long race. A lot of competitors were out front. You found yourself running 3rd for most of the race. But what was it like when you saw that 16 fall out and you suddenly had the lead in your hands?
Man, guy I hated for that Chad's such a good guy, and he was fast. He'd have been tough to beat, but I don't know what happened to him there, and he fell off. And I kind of got trapped on the outside. I tried to make a move on the top and kind of got boxed in, and then went back to the bottom, and it just coincidence kind of worked out with him falling out, and then before I knew it, I was leading. So, man, that was amazing. Great crowd here tonight. This is so awesome to have all these fans here. Man, and that was so much fun. I don't even really know what to say. We made some really good adjustments. Like I said, at halfway, I think I was a little worried at the end of the last segment there before we put the tires on, but we made the right adjustments. I knew that'd be key to just fought tight the first half and freed it up, got it right, got out front, got some clean air, and was able to do it.
So obviously you've had some pretty meaningful wins for yourself in the past couple years. Obviously the 2 big wins you've had at Martinsville, a few others in the Cars Tour. What does it mean to you to win the Hampton Heat here tonight?
No, this is special, man. This is such a great race, and I've watched this race for a number of years, and like I said, Bill and everybody here at Langley Speedway do a great job, and it's a privilege to come race at a place like this, and man, it's so awesome to win, but it felt really good to get to come here with this group. I've been doing a lot of great things over the course of the year, and to come back and race with these guys, it's really special, and to win is just a bonus. So, I just want to thank Mark Thomas, All Things Automotive, iRacing, Hedgecock, John David West, all our guys for working so hard, Brian and everybody on this team for working hard and making good adjustments here. And, it's a lot of fun right now. I want to say hi to my wife and my little girl at home. They're watching. I hate they couldn't be here tonight, but just Dale Jr., I know you're probably watching. This one's for you, buddy.
Any plans to run Martinsville here late September?
Man, I don't know, really. I'm fortunate to have a lot of opportunities going on for me right now, so I'm kind of taking it week to week. I feel really positive about where we're at for 2022, and I got to look out for that too. Keep gaining experience in those big cars as much as I can. So I'm gonna definitely be there if I can, but we'll see what kind of opportunities come my way. But until then, we're gonna celebrate this one and get ready to go race again next week.
All right, race fans, well, there you go. The winner of the 13th annual Hampton Heat, Josh Berry.
the NASCAR late model standout. The guy that looked out for all late model drivers has done it here tonight. Josh Berry has won the Hampton Heat 200 in a thriller of an event here this evening. So Josh Berry is the winner. His margin of victory, 0.2 of a second over second place's Connor Hall. Let's take you through the running order here tonight, or the leaderboard at the conclusion of this race. Caden Honeycutt brought it home in third. Jared Fryer finished fourth, and Matt Waltz came home with the top 5 in fifth spot. Finishing sixth tonight was Brandon Pierce. Peyton Sellers came home seventh. Bobby McCarty was eighth. Danny Edwards ninth. And Terry Carroll rounds out your top 10. Timothy Peters finished 11th. Grayson Collather came home in 12th. 13th went to Mark Wirtz. Greg Edwards, who was making that bonsai run there at the end, unfortunately fell a little bit short and came home 14th. Blake Stallings was 15th. Carter Langley came home 16th. Justin Johnson was 17th. 18th went to Chris Johnson. Craig Estep, with those problems there near the latter stages of the race, was 19th. And Thomas Scott rounds out the top 20. Let's go back trackside.
That's right. I'm down here with Mayor Donnie Tuck. Oh, he's in there again. He got it. Almost took out our new trophy. Real quick, Josh is getting our brand new Hampton Heat trophy that we're actually going to light on fire here in just a moment. But real quick, it's a little heavy one. Real quick, Donnie, I'll let you present this trophy to Josh Berry.
Josh, outstanding race. Congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate everything you guys do. Yeah, thank you, man.
Cool. Send it back up to you, Brian.
What a thriller again. We've read your top 20. Let's take you through the rest of the field. Woody Howard finished the event in 21st tonight. Rick Godovic was 22nd. Nick Smith, the inaugural winner, came home 23rd tonight. Ryan Huff was 24th. Chad McCumbee finished 25th. A heartbreaker for Brendan Queen. He scored with finishing 26th. Casey Wyatt was 27th. Colin Garrett 28th. And 29th went to Justin Carroll after he went out of the race on lap number 11. 6 yellow flags slowed this event. And it was a wild one. And Brandon, man, this race certainly did not disappoint as far as the excitement level, the drama level. It was all there.
Not at all. I mean, God, this was such a fun race to be a part of. It's man, talk about throwing me into the fire when it comes to like first race trying to announce, like to do it on a broadcast, because there was just so much going on. God, it was so exciting though. I really enjoyed this race, and it reminds you of how much of a race fan you actually are, even when you're not behind the wheel. I mean, this was just so fun to watch. It was so awesome. The crowd was electric. I mean, I hope I get to come back next year, and hopefully, NASCAR work the off week so that it fits in with the Hampton Heat so that I can come run here. Junior, sorry, I might take that number 8 number for you. But no, this is such a fun race, and I'm blown away. You guys just put on such an awesome event. Everybody made it so fun. It was fun to hang out with Larry's Lemonade and everybody that came and saw our car, and we did the autographs and talked to fans. It was so much, I just loved it. So just really happy to be here.
Well, we were glad to have you, and a great job announcing, by the way. Outstanding job up here in the tower, helping call the action here tonight. I may not have a job come next year, because it looks like Brandon Brown will be up here in the booth, because he did such an excellent job. As we watch now the trophy celebration taking place, Vaughn Crittenden lighting up the Hampton Heat 200 trophy that you see that Josh Berry is going to hoist, and certainly shows the #1 finger. He did it here tonight as he poses for the pictures with that Hampton Heat trophy. That's just a pretty cool trophy.
Oh, yeah, and you definitely want to take home all the cool trophies. Now it looks like it's really catching Josh's gun. He's leaned back from it like, man, this thing's starting to get hot, boys. Talk about some Hampton Heat. I'm going to put this thing over my head instead. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Look at that. Oh, yeah, that's so awesome, though. But, man, that's such a cool trophy. I can't imagine that it's going to go on the bottom shelf, and it pairs nicely with a clock. So he's already got one from the Xfinity Series. I'm sure he wants one from the late model race there. Just really cool trophy. Awesome job, Bill Mullis, Vaughn Crittenden, everybody that's put this event on. Man, you guys managed chaos like I've never seen, but awesome, awesome event.
Hey, I tell you, if he thought it was hot in the race car, wait until he held that trophy. It got a little bit warm there near the end. But, of course, I'm sure he was very happy to hold that trophy up as, again, Josh Berry has done it. He has won the 2021 edition of the Hampton Heat 200 under a full moon. Might I have you here tonight? It was a thriller of an event here this evening, and we're so glad that you were able to come and be a part of this adventure, whether you're here in the grandstands with us or whether you're watching it at home on NBC Sports Gold Track Pass. This has just been an exciting event, and we certainly look forward to many, many more years of the Hampton Heat 200. And of course, earlier today, we had several drivers that made it down to Dale Emmons Victory Lane, all in 8 cars, including birthday boy Jacob Derrick got it done in the Cycle City Corp Legends, Dale Nichols in the 8 car in the old school video game Super Streets, and Louis Pastoritz got it done in the Harris Truck Shop Super Trucks. So the 2021 edition is in the books. We have had a lot of fun, and we hope you've enjoyed it as well. For Brandon Brown, Vaughn Crittenden, I'm Brian White. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to catching you next time here from Larry King Law's Langley Speedway.